Hello, everyone. Thanks for tuning in once again. You're listening to World Combat Sports. What is good? Hopefully, everyone is doing absolutely great. We're in the middle of a week, closer to another weekend. And for me, I got to give a shout out to everyone that's supporting World Combat Sports. You know what it is, man. Keep the growth alive. Keep cultivating the channel with your support. Tuning in each and every time. I appreciate it. That's the only way it's going to grow. You know what I'm saying? 2021 is on the horizon, and I look to do bigger and better things, in the following year. So getting to boxing, okay. It's a lot that's popping. You look at my thumbnail, and you know what it is. You know what I'm saying? You know what my thumbnail consists of. You know what it is. You know what it is. You understand it. For those who totally get it, you know what I mean by that. And what do I mean? Terence Crawford, in reality, is a true boogeyman when it comes down to it. The reason why I'm saying it is because it's fact, it's reality. No matter how people want to overlook it, ignore it, it's reality. It's absolute reality when you hear Errol Spence and what he has going on, making up all these excuses. And I know it's a good catchphrase, man down, man down. Everybody want to talk about man down. You know what I'm saying? I understand how easy it is. I do, but I want you to take a look at something right quick, right? I just want to share something with you right quick. Because this is important. Because, I tell people this. I say if the verbiage is there and the actions is there, then what is there to argue about? What is the debate about? You know what I'm saying? What is the debate about in the 147-pound division on who's ducking who? Yeah, I said it. I place hold on for a second. Let me get this right. Let me get this right. Now let me share this screen right quick. I just want y'all to, take a walk in the social media park with me right quick, so we can kind of figure this bullshit out. That's all I'm saying. I just want to figure it out. So this right here, I just want y'all to listen in.
That's why it's going to happen. Hopefully he beats Jeff Horn and gets that belt. And like I said, I want to be undisputed welterweight champion of the world.
So I just want to stop it right there, because this shit's been floating around for quite some time, man. It's nothing new. This ain't new. This ain't no, breaking news. This is real life, reciprocated duck verbiage. You know what I'm saying? The grammatical response to this should be like DUCKMASTER's Coalition. Because when Terence Crawford was on his way up to 47, he said, get a belt. It's right there. That's what the video is for. The video is for us to return to the scene of the crime and hold that person accountable. It's called evidence. It's called receipts in this day and time, and everything else that goes along with it. And that's what Errol Spence said. Get a belt, right? That's the same shit he was telling everybody else, and that what was told to him, right? So I guess do unto others as others have done unto you. That's what I'm getting from Errol Spence. Do unto others that others have done unto you. Keep going.
He does get that belt. We can make it happen.
This is what I'm saying. This is what I read it all too. Terence Crawford, wait till he get a belt. Yeah, he ain't did nothing in the welterweight today. You didn't get a belt. When he get a belt, you want to go over there. Keith Thurman want to go over there, and now y'all want to say, "Oh, I ain't fought nobody, but I got a belt now." So okay. Shakur got a belt too. So now Shakur got a belt.
See, this is what I can't understand, because I treat everybody intelligently, age appropriate, having adult conversations when it comes to this boxing. But some shit, when it requires common sense, it doesn't. This is reality right here. You know, some of this shit don't require you to say, well, you know, there's no common sense in what they're talking about. We got to use common sense when we're thinking about this. No, people make it into a common sense type of narrative. They don't sit up here and hold people accountable, man, by driving a nail through the eyeball. This is one of those deals where you should take a goddamn rusty nail and put it in the eyeball of reality. Because when he told him to get a belt, Terence Crawford just mentioned and said, you know, I got a belt. And then you want to talk about going on this side of the street, being on that side of the street. So Errol Spence just said Shawn Porter has a belt too. Isn't that what he said, people? Come on, man. It's Wednesday. Isn't that what he said? That's switching up, ain't it? This cat hurry up and switched up and say Shawn Porter do too. So he's not in the DUCKMASTER's coalition. Errol Spence. Let me keep going.
So why want to go to the easy road and not Shawn Porter?
So you see the look on Terence Crawford's face. Terence Crawford is like, damn, you know, in reality, I can't see how this. I'm getting this type of energy from Spence. Like, I'm disappointed. With everybody standing in that circle right there. Spence is saying, why wouldn't I go the easy route and knock Shawn Porter out? Which he didn't. He fought Shawn Porter and won, but he didn't knock him out. But I'm just trying to help y'all understand and to focus on the change of direction. The change of direction in the conversation was he quickly switched it over to Shawn Porter. He has a belt too. Not Terence Crawford. You know what I'm saying? Not the man that, you know, you said get a belt. You gave him the guidance. You said get a belt and we can make it happen. Get a belt. The man picked up a belt from Jeff Horn. And need I say Jeff Horn was undefeated? Didn't Jeff Horn win over Pacquiao? But Pacquiao's probably going to be the one that Errol Spence revert back to the fight because he wants another paycheck. He feels that he's this PPV king and all this other stuff, right? But I'm a little agitated at Errol Spence because right now your actions aren't living up to your words. And I'm looking at, if you a grown ass man and you're dealing with equine therapy and you're dealing with the horses and all that shit, a horse can determine, you know, they have a good sense of judgment when somebody on some bullshit. So I'm curious to know, you know, do your horse understands that you on some bullshit? Because they're very good with understanding how that all works. That's what horses do. They can tell if you're scared and they can tell if you for real. But I'm just saying, like in this narrative, you know, this conversation, this group setting that you was in right now, you quickly changed the subject to Shawn Porter. That shit is reality right there. That's fact, man. You are in the DUCKMASTER's coalition. You don't want that smoke with the real boogeyman, Terence Crawford. You don't want that.
Why wouldn't I?
But what did you think of Terence showing up ringside? Do you think that helps build some buzz to make it a big fight?
No. I mean, he got to live up to his words. If he say he's not worried about me.
See, listen. I hate putting jokes into this shit and going back to that favorite moment when we talking about Menace to Society. He said, you know you done fucked up, right? You know that, right? Listen, people. You know, sometimes doing this boxing media shit, like when I initially came on the scene, you know, I was taking everything and trying to do it with integrity, right? And then the longer I kept on doing it, I found out it's not done with integrity because it's filled with a lot of biasness, right? So now I don't hear those those people, those individuals that support Errol Spence, having that integrity. Not all of them, some of them are, but having enough integrity to hold him accountable to his words. All of a sudden, he's going with what has been said in the interim, not what's been said by himself previously. Do you have a lack of a long-term memory? You know what I'm saying? I mean, what's going on right here? This man want to hurry up and cut off and say, he want to hold Terence Crawford to his words because he said he didn't need Spence for his legacy. He's saying he don't need Spence for his legacy. He don't need him for his legacy because his legacy is already cemented, right? He's a 3-division champion. Errol Spence is only hoping he's able to do what Terence Crawford has done in his career before he call it quits. Why isn't there individuals and respectable voices holding Spence to what's on his freaking cap, the truth? Why isn't he being held to the truth? Because we can do away with that man down shit. We need to change that into man up. For real. That's my slogan, man up. Not man down, man up. Because Errol is not speaking the truth right now. Just because Terence Crawford said he don't need him for his legacy doesn't mean he don't want to fight you at welterweight. He definitely want to fight you at welterweight. Period. But you coming up with all these fucking excuses, bro. Like, what's up with all the excuses? You becoming a prima donna. You want to all of a sudden hold people accountable for their words, but yet you ain't mentioning your own words? I guess, because they did you like that. But they only told you to get a belt. So you only did what you had to do. You went in the backyard, Kell Brook picked up the IBL. Kudos to you, man. And you defeated Sean Porter. Cool. But boxing is a business first, homeboy. You should know that, Errol Spence. Your notoriety, look, your notoriety comes in a single division. You're a 2-time world champion in a single division. If your goal and your objective is to be undisputed at welterweight, who do you think is going to defeat Terence Crawford before you step over there to the WBO? Who? I'm just asking a question there, Errol Spence. The truth. That's all I want. The truth. Who do you believe going to defeat Terence Crawford so you can get that belt from him? If your plan and if your people saying you're going to fight 3 times in 2021, why won't you, after this fight with Danny Garcia, mention a 3-fight lineup and say, I want Terence Crawford in 2021? But no, you don't do that. You want to sit up here in front of the cameras and say, I'm going to hold him to his word like you're a school teacher. You said you was going to be on class. You be in class on time now. You was a minute late. I must send you to in-house detention. And when you get off in-house detention, you have a 10-month probationary period. And after your probation period, we have to send you to a observation period. And the total amount of time within that is about 3 years. So during that time, I'm if you're not available, I'm gonna talk to some people and see, can you get stripped of that title? Because my whole objective is to be undisputed welterweight world champion. But rather, I want to be a part of the DUCKMASTER's coalition, man. Errol Spence is not the boogeyman at 147, man. He's not. He's not. Terence Crawford is, period. Terence Crawford is indeed the boogeyman at 147. Errol Spence has proven that.
Then I don't know why he doing what he was doing here. I probably wouldn't go to none of his fights, so.
Errol Spence, while he's mumbling through his speech, he's sounding like a little boy right now. He sounded like a little kid that said he was gonna meet his friend at the playground. He shows up and his friend, brought another friend. Well, You know, why you bring him? Well, I ain't gonna play with you today. I ain't gonna swing on the swing set. You brought somebody else. You said meet you at the park, not you bring a friend. I mean, I wouldn't show up to none of his fights. Why wouldn't you show up to some of his fights? Y'all trying so hard to say Terence Crawford ain't a PPV star, but yet your whole entire goal and objective in the welterweight division is to be undisputed. So if the keys that are left, okay, like the diamonds, the stones that's in the ring to make everything complete, if you only have two there, Spence, and you need the other two to fit on your knuckles to say you are the undisputed, therefore you must defeat Manny Pacquiao and you must defeat Terence Crawford. Now, we all know Manny Pacquiao, either way you swing the pendulum, either Terence Crawford or yourself can beat Manny Pacquiao. We know that. I don't see no upset in that. But with Manny Pacquiao, he's probably going to choose you just because, you know, you're trying to say you this PPV. But guess what, Spence? You ain't broken to the top 5 PPV. You haven't even come close to Tyson Holyfield. Why are people trying to act like Spence is this huge PPV star? Because he's fighting in his backyard? I mean, you're fighting in your backyard, bro. I can see if you were selling out the stadium in Dallas. I can see if we was at full capacity live gate and you selling out Dallas. I can see that. Then I say, you know what? Maybe Crawford should consider you know, taking a little bit less, 60-40, whatever, because Spence was able to sell out Dallas. But that wasn't the case. Especially with Danny Garcia. Danny Garcia gave us everything we expected. No disappointment. Really, no expectations, no disappointment. We expected Danny Garcia to go. I did expect him to go in there and freaking keep popping the damn gear shift in neutral. He didn't want to go to motherfucking 3rd, 4th, 5th gear because it's not there. But let's get back to old man up.
I'm not sure about Terence Crawford. Like I said, you know, that's why it's gonna happen. Hopefully he beats Jeff Horn and gets that belt. And like I said, I want to be undisputed welterweight champion of the world. So when he does get that belt, we can make it happen in the future.
This is what I'm saying. This is what I read it all too. Terence Crawford, wait till he get a belt. Yeah. He ain't did nothing in the welterweight today. When he get a belt, you want to go over there. Keith Thurman want to go over there. And now y'all want to say, oh, I ain't fought nobody, but I got a belt now, so okay. Shakur got a belt too. Also,
I'll just leave that right there because I just wanted to leave you with that little sentiment and, you know, him saying that Sean Porter has a belt too. Man up. Man the fuck up, bro. Man up. Man up. Because Errol Spence is officially a part of the DUCKMASTER coalition. Terence Crawford has called out damn near everybody. And Keith Thurman, we can't take serious because just because you made a dime with Manny Pacquiao doesn't mean you go up here and present yourself with the same pay scale when you want to fight Terence Crawford. You want to come up here doing a pandemic and say, okay, give me 10 million and you coming off a loss. It don't matter if you got one loss. Terence Crawford, what's his record? What's Terence Crawford record is the question. What is his record? All you got to do is look in the light bulb. What is his record? Real talk. 37-0, 28 knockouts. What is his record? Why is it so difficult for people to go at Errol Spence and hold him accountable for his fucking words? People picking and choosing, man. It's almost like this shit is reverse discrimination, goddammit. You know what I'm saying? Like you pick and choose your black fighter that sits well with you, and then you want to find a way to criticize the other one. I always say this shit. Coming from the South, I always use this. You know, it's nothing new because it happens. But how you gonna sit up here and see what Terence Crawford is doing, and then you disregard it? You jettison the fact that he's going out here knocking out who he's supposed to. Alexander in the building. What's good? Kano Loco Sports. Salute. Michael Lewis. Salute. Let me read some of the comments. Neither are ducking, in my opinion. They're definitely doing the right thing to create huge buzz. He means easier route because it was easier to get the deal done since both PBC, not that Porter was easier. How can it be so easy? You didn't attempt to make it happen. I always tell people the initiative means everything. It's just like running to somebody and you see them all the time, and then both of y'all finally come together and say, hey, man, I knew you a year ago. If you knew me a year ago and we crossed paths, why you didn't speak? What was the purpose? And then they might turn around and say, well, you didn't speak either. But if it was all about being made, you know what I'm saying? Shawn Porter was the easiest fight. That's kind of like not what I was hearing. Errol Spence said, knock him out. That doesn't have anything to do with dollars. Errol Spence made a point to say, I'm going here and knock out Shawn Porter. He felt that Shawn Porter was the easiest route for a knockout. That, in my opinion, I just didn't hear where it was all about, the fight was supposed to be so easy. As far as when it made dollars, it made sense too. That's just me. That's just my opinion. Most of y'all already know where I stand on this one. Spence don't want that Bud Crawford smoke. I stand by it until proven wrong. I agree with Michael for real. It's too many freaking excuses that he's not being held accountable for, and he's supposed to the truth. You know what I'm saying? He's supposed to the truth, but he ain't living up to his own truth. Yeah, hey, let's go back before the meeting they had, in the group setting with Bob Arum. He said, WBO, we're gonna make that happen. If he beat Jeff Horn and get a belt, we'll make that happen. And then he gets a belt, and then it's all these other freaking excuses like Terence Crawford just mentioned. This side of the street, and then what he really meant was, no, we're a grown ass man. We both have a first language of English. He said, I can go. Shawn Porter has a belt too. He didn't say anything about negotiation. He said Shawn Porter has a belt too. He didn't say, okay, hold on. Listen, Terence, you're right. I did say get a belt. But Errol Spence never once mentioned or acknowledged the narrative. He just deferred to say that Shawn Porter got a belt too. So that tells me he'd rather go see Shawn Porter than Terence Crawford. That's the feeling and interpretation I receive. I don't need an Dragamon for to help me understand that. I don't need it. He said Shawn Porter has a belt too. So he want to go over there and fight Shawn Porter. The same Shawn Porter lost his belt to Kell Brook that Errol Spence was in possession of. So since I beat Kell Brook, I can beat Shawn Porter. I beat Kell Brook, who beat Shawn Porter. So I definitely can beat Shawn Porter. So let me go ahead and get this WBC belt. I ain't hear shit about negotiations or none of that. I did not hear one iota about negotiations. He said Shawn Porter got a belt. I think Spence versus Crawford would sell bigger than either Bud or Spence. Get that belt from Pac-Man and say when they fight is for undisputed. Hey, I totally understand where that is going as far as the belt goes. But it's one person, it's one individual. Errol Spence has been talking about he want to be undisputed before he move up to 54. So his pops is coming out talking about he's supposed to fight 3 times in 2021. But if that's indeed the case, right, then why after the fight he said, I don't know why Crawford was here. Well, you do know why the fuck Crawford was there, because he's trying to make it known to the public that he's showing up to your fight like a lot of other fighters did. Isn't that how Sugar Ray, he was looking on? He said, hey, I can beat him. Isn't that what he said? He's sitting out there, I can beat him. But see, Terence Crawford wasn't showing up to fight to see if he can beat Errol Spence. He was just showing up to the fight to make his presence known. And Errol Spence gets on the mic. I don't know why he's showing up to the fight. Somebody help me, I'm holding him to his word. And I don't know. I know he out ESPN. I'm like, come on, bro. What the fuck are you saying? You don't know why he showed up to the fight. You acting petty. You acting like a prima donna right now. You came back and you won against Danny Garcia. Kudos. But a lot of us hardcore boxing fans understood that's what we was going to get out of Danny Garcia. The same shit we got from Shawn Porter. Fighters be saying all types of shit. I don't see this Spence or Crawford as a duck, just boxing BS to me. Hey, Mitch, I'm going to have to disagree with you on this, man, because if I kept telling you, hey, Mitch, man, you say you're going to be here? Okay, I'm going to show up. I don't show up. Just say it's in a jam, right? We're supposed to get some sparring in. And then I tell you again, you see me out. Well, the reason why I ain't show up because, I went to this other gym. You know what I'm saying? I went to this other gym. But I'm going to get around to you. I'm going to get around to you. And you just keep on giving excuse after excuse, man. That's what Errol Spence is doing. Excuse after excuse. That one group setting that they was in, and he said, Shawn Porter got a belt. If he would have just acknowledged the fact that, hey, Terence Crawford, I see where you're coming from, bro. I got you. I see where you're coming from. I did say that on ESPN. I did say that in the presence of Max Kellerman and Stephen A. Smith. I did. But no acknowledgement. He deferred. So to me, deferring means you're going a different route and you are in avoidance. You are negating the route that you have spoke on yourself. You said the WBO. If he beats Jeff Horn and pick up the WBO, get a belt first, then we'll make it happen. That ain't the case no more. Your whole tone has changed. You don't have that same language. Richard, all you have to do is look on the box rec. When he stepped up to fight in the division for the first time, which was welterweight, Jeff Horn was the WBO champion who defeated a legitimate boxer, an 8-division champion. So that's who he is. All you got to do is just look it up on box rec. It's easy as that. It's easy as that. You might be a temporary, though. I don't know. Crawford is nowhere near trash. When people say trash, I guess it's a commonality now when people just criticize boxers and they don't respect the game, that boxing is a tough sport. Motherfuckers die and they take punishment doing sparring that no one really hears about. Anyway, what's going on, IB? Salute to you. Errol also said he was going to knock him out to his face. Just hope the fight happens so we can see for ourselves. And I definitely want to see Errol Spence attempt to knock out Terence Crawford, who he hasn't knocked out. Errol Spence haven't knocked out anybody in a while that's credible. He didn't knock out Shawn Porter. He didn't knock out Danny Garcia. He didn't knock out Mikey Garcia. Tell me who he knocking out. Tell me who he knocking out. Help me understand who he's knocking out. Let's go over here to this right here. This is Terence Crawford right here. In case those of you didn't know, 37-0, 28 knockouts. I just call it as I see it. They say he is southpaw, but he can switch hit whenever he feels like it. Orthodox southpaw, whatever. Age 33, right? So, you know, we can say that the window is, if you look at the Errol Spence and Terence Crawford, the window is narrowing more so, in my opinion, for Errol Spence, because Terence is already 3-division champion. Errol Spence, he's also aging as the years go along too. So he has to make an adjustments. But the one thing about Errol Spence, let's not get it twisted. If he ain't knocking out dudes here in 47, when he move up to 54, he ain't gonna be knocking out the best. And if he chooses to try to go up to 60 and be a 3-division champion, guess what? He ain't gonna be knocking out the best. So let's not get it twisted, y'all. Let's go to his record. Y'all want to talk about knockouts? Errol Spence ain't knocking out Terence Crawford. He went up here and defeated Jeff Horn. 18-0 undefeated Jeff Horn and finished him in the 9th round. Then stepped in there with Joseph Benavidez. Yeah, the same one who had a leg issue, got shot, but he was 27-0. So if he had a hurt leg, why didn't anyone else give him his first loss? Boom. Dispersed him in 12th round. What that say? TKO. Went up there. Amir Khan made him quit. Moving on. Green Beans. You know, 21-0. Olympian, right? 9th round. Got him up out of there. The same round he dispersed of Jeff Horn. You know what I'm saying? The same round he dispersed of Jeff Horn. 9th round, 9th round. Then he went in there and just demolished Kell Brook. He's knocking out individuals that he's supposed to knock out. This is what I want y'all to understand. Check this out. Check this out. Since he's moved up to welterweight division, he has KO'd. Stopped. Why are you all saying that Errol Spence he has the best resume at welterweight? I understand what you're getting at, but you're not going to give credit to him knocking out who he's supposed to. Isn't a boogeyman is someone that's supposed to be fearful, someone supposed to have optimisms, apprehension about facing that guy, a girl, because they are the boogeyman, right? There's some type of fear in taking on the challenge of that individual. Well, shit. If you a fighter stepping in there with Errol Spence, you can almost guarantee you're going to go to the distance if you're good. If you're decent, you can go the distance. But with Terence Crawford, he stepped up to the 147-pound division, and he stopped his first opponent, and Jeff Horn picked up the strap. The rest is what it is. 4 fights later, after Jeff Horn, he's still knocking dudes out, stopping guys, and he moved up. He moved up a division. What must we say about Errol Spence, though? I mean, come on, let's be real. You guaranteed to go the distance if you halfway decent. I'm just being honest. Let's stop putting this boogeyman tag on Errol Spence, man. Let's stop doing that. Let's stop putting the boogeyman tag on there. He needs to fight Terence Crawford. Nobody else. 42-year-old Manny Pacquiao this month. 42 years old this month. So you really want to prove to the boxing community, individuals like myself, that I slice the pie as much as I can, straight down the middle with this shit. I'm calling Errol Spence a duck because that's the actions that he's giving me right now. And I don't even like using that terminology, but he's a part of the DUCKMASTER's coalition. And if he keep on talking and keeps on creating freaking reflections for us to go back to with all these fucking excuses, the last two has put him damn near the general. It's damn near put him as the general of the DUCKMASTER's coalition. When I want a formation and I say, hey, general, can you follow in all the ducks? I call up Errol Spence. Errol Spence, can you form up the platoon, please? Because look, after the Terence Crawford defeated Kell Brook, he said, I don't want to bring up what Bob Arum said, but proof is in the pudding. Okay, this is more recent, this fresh. And then he get behind the man. Oh no, what Terence Crawford doing here? I don't know what I say, you don't know why he here. He here because he wants to fight. So people go around and say, why didn't Terence Crawford jump in the ring? And for what? What the fuck he gonna jump in the ring for? Isn't that what Errol Spence did? Did he get the fight immediately for Shawn Porter? Did he? No, he didn't. Once again, I repeat, when Errol Spence jumped in the ring against, after Shawn Porter, did he get the fight next? No, he didn't. Did he end up getting the fight? Yes. Why should Bud Crawford split the ropes and go in there and say, hey, you know why I'm here, Errol? Hey, guy, buddy, you know why I'm here. You told me to get a belt. I did. And then it's different sides of the street. And then it's Shawn Porter. Why wouldn't I go knock out Shawn Porter? And then you want to say, after my fight with Kell Brook, the proof is in the pudding because Bob Arum said he lost so much money he can buy a house in Beverly Hills. And then you turn around and say, well, I don't know why he showing up to the press conference. He need to stick by his words. No, you need to stick to your words. You need to stick to your words, Errol. Man up. You need to stick to your words, Errol. Because you ain't had a fight that a man been down in a minute. So let's just exclude that hashtag and focus more on strap season. I appreciate that more because obviously it seems like you're all about trying to get the straps. So the straps can be next, Manny Pacquiao. Because I'm going to tell everybody who's listening, and I know it's a lot of people that go out here and they're going for Errol Spence, right? Errol Spence don't beat Terence Crawford. I'm going to say it. Errol Spence don't beat Terence Crawford. I just want that to sponge. I want everybody to sponge that shit up. You're going to keep you poking the bear a lot, Errol. You want to think you're going to keep somebody with a dog like Terence Crawford, right? And both of them got dog in them, but you're going to keep somebody like Terence Crawford on the outside, like you saying, okay, I'm going to get around to you. Everybody going to get their turn. Nigga, what the fuck you talking about? Everybody going to get their turn. You are the single division 2-time world champion. And you're trying to tell me if Terence Crawford is top pound for pound ahead of you, you don't see a sense of urgency or priority to step in the ring with him? You don't see a sense of urgency or priority to step in the motherfucking ring with Terence Crawford, who's a 3-division former undisputed champion? You don't see that? You'd rather go in there with an antiquated, anachronistic, dated Manny Pacquiao, who you know you can beat, all so you can go in the negotiation process with Crawford with the same shit. Look, if you go in there with 3 belts with Crawford, who has the WBO, of course Crawford's gonna say, okay, cool, finally, you wanna come over here and fight me? Cool. You got 3 belts, I got 1. All right. But it's not gonna be no 70-30. It's not gonna be 80-20. Because you have to factor in what value, what brings up the Wall Street of a fighter. Is first of all, how many divisions you have. You know what I'm saying? That has a lot to do with it. How many championships? Your resume, of course. But individuals need to just calm the fuck down when you say Terence Crawford ain't did shit in his boxing career. And I say again, did y'all hear what Errol Spence said? I don't know why he came here. He need to stick by his words. I'm like, but Errol, you ain't stuck to your words though. This nigga tripping, man. Spence is giving his preferred lineup a while ago. Manny Crawford. Made sense at the time. After that, Crawford became dismissive of Spence. As we can see, Spence took offense. I look at this, Mitch. So Crawford shouldn't take offense to Spence going back on his word. That's all I'm trying to say, bro. Like, he shouldn't take offense to that shit. He should. Because Crawford was the one that gave him the ultimatum. If you're going to give a fighter an ultimatum before you even consider them as an opponent in this game we call boxing, in the sport, that's a business first, right? Why can't Crawford hold Spence to his word too? He need to hold him to his word. Richard say Blu-ray is coming back to Spence. That spells knockout. It don't spell anything but someone's coming back to help Spence out. That's all that's saying. 21 strong in the building. What's good? Money man, I'm not sure what that means or who you are, but put some more to the sentence. I don't know what you're saying, so I can't really, speak on what stop it means. Okay? I don't know what that means. Errol Spence is no boogeyman, Daffy Duck ass Errol. I never understood the dislike of Bud as a fighter. He is exciting. He has knocked out everyone at the welterweight. He has knocked out everyone that he has stepped in at welterweight division. But yet people downplay. They vilipend the fact that Terence Crawford, though people criticize his resume, he has did what he was supposed to do. Terence Crawford stopped him. Terence Crawford stopped them. What the fuck what do you want to happen? Him to go the distance like Errol Spence has? He want to talk all that shit because he dropped Porter in the 11th round. Kudos to you, bro. It wasn't like Sean Porter wasn't turning your ass like a motherfucking record whenever he felt like it. I mean, I'm just trying to get a hold of, if you're saying Crawford, right? You criticize the fuck out of his resume at 47. But yet, every fighter after Jeff Horn, the one that he stepped up and faced as a champion, he has stopped. But yet he gets no love when it comes to Errol Spence, who is basically recanted, reneged on his word several times over. I think it's easy for people to latch on to Errol Spence once again because he relates to the culture a little bit more. Terence Crawford is a family man. He does what Terence Crawford does. But I'm telling you, Errol Spence don't beat Terence Crawford. He don't. He does not. When he landed that good shot on Terence Crawford and Terence started dog walking his ass like he did green beans, then what? Then what? When the fight get dirty, then what? What is this body puncher? Did he body punch the shit out of Danny Garcia? Did he body punch the shit out of Mikey Garcia? Did he with Sean Porter? So start with all the body attacks and he's this brutal individual, Blu-ray coming back. Come on, man. They spoke on the phone and agreed they'll make the fight when the time was right. Then Crawford states emphatically he doesn't need him. So how y'all expect Spence to act, especially knowing he's the bigger name? Okay, check this out. And good point, Mitch. But why are we once again holding Crawford to his words and we're not holding Spence to the truth? Spence was initially the one who basically provided the introduction. He welcomed Crawford to the welterweight division and gave him an ultimatum because why? Terence Crawford was calling out Spence. So on ESPN, how clear, look, how lucid does it have to be when he said, if he defeats Jeff Horn, we'll make it happen. So how is all the fillers now important? He has all these fillers, y'all. Errol Spence has all these fillers. Now it has to do with them speaking. And just because Crawford went on and kind of felt and he was upset about some shit and went online and started dogging Errol Spence. And then they talked on the phone or whatever, and they came out and said, oh, we're gonna make the fight, he a good guy, blah, blah, blah. I'm not saying Errol Spence is a bad guy. I'm saying he's not living up to his word. Since people consider him the best, okay. Not too long ago, Keith Thurman was a unified champion. It seems like Errol Spence is doing the same bullshit Keith Thurman was doing. Am I motherfucking lying? It seems like Errol Spence is doing the same shit Keith Thurman was doing to him. I'm just keeping it a hundo, y'all. Isn't that what it seems like? As much as Keith Thurman, as much as Errol was yearning for attention with Keith Thurman on every freaking broadcast he possibly can, I want to fight Keith Thurman. And Keith Thurman looking the other way. Oh man, the horizon on that mountain looks great. Keith Thurman wasn't even paying Errol Spence no mind. This is not something that just I'll take that back. This must be something that exists only in the welterweight division. This must be some type of phobia that exists, and we need some type of medical assistance in this welterweight division. Because why is it so difficult for these individuals to just square up and at least speak on making the fight happen? We just see Teofimo and Vasily Lomachenko. And please don't type in the live chat, well, they was under the same promotion. I get it. But Teofimo Lopez has been calling freaking Lomachenko a bitch in the media forever. And ain't nobody talking about that. Why is he so disrespectful, though? This Vasily we talking about. He was top 2 pound for pound on the ring mag. Show him some respect. He was a unified champion. He vacated for the friendship title. Why weren't y'all holding Teofimo? Goddamn, Crawford didn't go to the media and call Errol Spence a bitch several times over. Teofimo did. And still he got the fight when negotiations from 1.2 to 2. And you tell me how the fuck I supposed to sit up here and digest this shit. So y'all not holding Teofimo, who went in there and got the job done. But yet y'all want to hold Crawford to his words, but not Errol Spence. When Errol Spence already had a belt, he's saying, go get a belt. But he was the one sitting up here pleading and begging with Keith Thurman. I want to fight Keith Thurman. He don't want to acknowledge my presence, man. I just want some attention from Keith Thurman to fight for the belt. You didn't get that attention. Keith Thurman ignored your ass. He sunned you. He sunned you, basically. So now you're attempting to sun Terence Crawford. But right now, Terence Crawford is absolutely in the equation in order for you to complete the entire matrix for what you're looking to do. And your entire matrix is to become undisputed welterweight world champion. But the only part of that is one of the stones exists far over in the WBO sanctioning body, and that is Terence Crawford. We all know you can get Manny Pacquiao. That stone is easy. But goddamn it, I don't see anybody else. I don't give a fuck. Y'all talking about Virgil Ortiz. Let Virgil Ortiz go over there to Terence Crawford and get that ass whooping. Go ahead, send Jerome Ennis over there. Because I know he's about to fight Van Herden. Good. Congrats. He's about to step in there. Congrats. I don't have nothing against either one of them. But they ain't beating Terence Crawford. And I would say Sean Porter ain't beating Terence Crawford. He's not. He's not, y'all. Virgil Ortiz is not defeating Terence Crawford. Terence Crawford is young enough to hold on to that belt. He don't look like he's getting any worse for wear. Shout out to Bo Mac or whatever dynamic that they have going on over there in that gym. But I'm going to tell you one person in the welterweight division that don't have that stigma placed on him as being old, decrepit, dilapidated, degenerative when it comes to competition. That's Terence Crawford. I know everybody want to provide all these adulation for freaking Terence Crawford. I mean, for Errol Spence coming off this fight with Danny Garcia. But really, then Danny Garcia gave us just about what we expected. Real talk. Michael said Bud is a legit problem. Anybody who don't see that, I don't know what to tell you, bro. I don't know what to tell you. I would love to take that bet. if IB is talking about the bet with Crawford Spence, hey, we good. Absolutely. Bud would sleep Errol. Pac-Man might sleep Spence, to be honest. Damn. Top welterweight rarely stop KO each other. Hot welterweights rarely stop okay. Hey, Mitch. But I'm looking at the 4 fights after Jeff Horn there, Mitch. I'm looking at what Crawford's been doing, man. Crawford is a different type of bear. You don't have to corner him to get that out of him. You don't. It's all about when he chooses to flip on the switch and give it to you. I love Errol and Bud. They are 1A, 1A plus, but Errol keeps changing the goalposts. I agree, man. He did his job, but where are they today to rate his competition? There's no money in that input, that statement that you just made. How can you call it bias? Obviously, you're just stepping through. You know what I'm saying? You're just pulling up. I'm one of the ones that try to stay away from extreme bias to the left or right. But just because you're not hearing what you want to hear, prove me wrong. Has he not stopped all 4 opponents after Jeff Horn? Yes, he has. It don't matter where his competition is at. The fact that they had O's on their record, most of them, is what we need to pay attention to. And if they was nobody to begin with, did they get stopped like they were supposed to? Absolutely. They absolutely got stopped. So let's talk about this there, Money Man. Let's talk about Errol Spence's competition. Okay, let's exclude Mikey Garcia moving up 2 divisions. Okay, let's exclude that. He went 12 rounds with Mikey, the smaller fighter. Boom, we got that out the way. Who's next? Sean Porter walks in there with how many losses already? To who again? Kell Brook came down from how many weight classes? Already dang torn and tattered and damaged. But I give Spence his credit like I always have. He went in the man backyard, got the title. So where's all the knockouts? Where's all the man down? Does man down, does it consist of just earning a victory over your opponent or actually a man being down? Because if that's the case, I think Terence Crawford should trademark that hashtag because his results are actually man down. He's getting the stoppages. Just ask Jose Benavidez. Ask all the people who has been in there from Jeff Horn and everyone that's faced Terence Crawford in the welterweight division. Ask them. They waking up from naps. Bud made them take that where they are. Real talk. Regardless of the opponents, Crawford is more accomplished in the sport. Can't take away from his skills. That's all I'm saying, IB. I mean, that's all I'm saying, man. It's almost like this reverse discrimination shit is going on. You got 2 black fighters, and they want to pick out the one that looks better to them to support. You know what I'm saying? They can't really relate to Terence Crawford because he ain't in the media all the time. They really can't relate to him. But I tell them, Errol Spence ain't in the media that much either. He don't talk to the media that much. But now, recently, when he stepped into the media, he's been saying some dumb shit, though. He's been talking like he's the general of the DUCKMASTER Coalition. Everything that comes up when it comes time for Crawford, there's an excuse. He want to reiterate what Bob Arum said. Bob Arum can speak for himself. He don't need you to speak for yourself. You need to focus on being great. Errol Spence isn't great right now. Errol Spence stopped boxing right now. He isn't a Hall of Famer. Period. He isn't a Hall of Famer. Terence Crawford stopped boxing right now. He's a Hall of Famer. For like 79 boxing in the building. What's good? So WCS, Bud bears responsibility in the delay of the big fight. Also, Crawford said out his own mouth that Spence not ducking the fight needs to build for more money or he doesn't need EJ. Okay, I'm not denying the fact that Crawford has said what you just mentioned. I'm not denying that. But he has been consistently calling out Errol Spence. Of course, Crawford can say some good sentiments, but if those sentiments are not being recognized by Errol Spence, why would you continue to walk on eggshells and say good things when somebody's not acknowledging that you're being respectful to begin with? Errol Spence is not acknowledging Terence Crawford respect. He's not acknowledging that. Errol Spence is not even holding his own self accountable. So why are you trying to hold Terence Crawford accountable? You're trying to take other people's word and say proof is in the pudding. Don't nobody give a fuck about what Arum said because he can say what the fuck he want to. We're talking about the conversation and agreement that you all need between one another. That's what we want to talk about. We ain't trying to damn go around the carousel, motherfucker, when there's no people in the park. We ain't trying to jump on no merry-go-round and say, well, let's just take a ride right quick. You like horses, right, Errol? Okay, let's jump on this merry-go-round and see can we come up with an agreement. Let's do it. Because in the media, you seem a little distracted. So I got with your people to get with my people, and this is where we came. I know shit is shut down due to the pandemic, but I just brought you here so we can kind of, pick any kind of horse you want. I know you like horses. Take the red one, blue one, green one, gold one, the brown one, whatever. And let's just, try to find out how to power this on so we can talk about this fight. Because in reality, Errol, you keep going around in circles. That's the reality of it. Terence Crawford ain't going around no damn circle. Terence Crawford is straight to the point directly. I want to fight Errol Spence. You say he the boogeyman? Well, scare me then. Scare me. Scare the hell out of me. But the only thing Terence Crawford is fearful of is Errol coming up with another excuse. I don't know why he showed up to the fight. I don't know. When Terence Crawford came up to the fight, what? Man. Terence Crawford keep, man. He need to stick to his words, man. Cause I don't stick to my words, but I'm gonna hold him and stick to his words, man. I know. Man, come on with that shit, bro. Yes, he had a hell of a body attack against Porter. Man, please. Porter was spinning him like a top whenever he felt like it. It was a good fight. FOTY. It was a good fight. But when did Porter goddamn fold over like a wet envelope? When was Porter in a position where he was like, oh, shit? The only time we really seen Porter's eyes roll back in his head was when he got hit with that left hook. Errol say 60-40. Crawford say, I don't need him. Who's ducking? No, that's not really how the conversation went. He said if it's 60-40, it should be in my benefit. Errol want to say 60-40, but what does that mean? That's just putting a number out there that say, once again, I want to be in control. You can talk to another grown man and tell them, okay, let's check out the spread. All right, let's check this out. Let's check out what's on paper right now. All right, what's on paper, first and foremost, is Errol Spence got two fucking belts. The WBC and IBF, we understand that. All right. But then, if you look at what's on paper for Terence Crawford, you have 3 divisions formerly undisputed. Right? So don't act like since he's fought Jeff Horn, he ain't defended his title 4 freaking times. Errol Spence has campaigned on his 4th fight to date, because the first 3 was at 154. After from his 4th fight into current, he's been in the same division. He's been in the same division. Neither fighter has the credential on paper of the Olympics. We all know what happened with Terence Crawford in the Olympics, and Errol Spence didn't do anything special in the Olympics. So let's keep it on professional. Their professional ledger right now. People are looking at Shawn Porter and Kell Brook. And then they'll throw in there Mikey Garcia, who's a 4-division champion. I get it. But the two people you could throw in after all the fights he's had at welterweight, the primary two names you can pick out is Kell Brook and Shawn Porter. Those are the only two names you can pick out. Because last time I checked, Terence Crawford has not campaigned at a single division up to this point. He is a 3-division world titleist, a 3-weight. He stopped in Dongo in 3, and he was undisputed at 40. That's far better than Errol Spence. So when Errol Spence come to the table at 60-40, you're trying to tell me you're basically overlooking the fact of what he's been able to do in his career. But yet, when it comes to Manny Pacquiao, people say, well, check this out, though. Manny Pacquiao, he's an 8th division champion. He brings a country. He brings a country. 62-7, right? He brings a country behind him. But within the 7, are we looking back deep in Manny Pacquiao early in his career when he was KO'd? Forget about one man, one market. We want to go back. Isn't this about the rearview mirror, right? Because when it comes to Manny Pacquiao, people want to say, oh, he's an 8th division champion. Let's consolidate all his accomplishments because he's Manny Pac. He brings the Filipino nation. But yet you don't want to bring in what Terence Crawford has been able to accomplish in his boxing repertoire, his portfolio. You don't want to acknowledge that shit? Okay, cool. Gotcha. Man, all bud tenders act like Bud and Arum ain't got no skin in the game. Blame going on both sides. There's probably culpability on both sides somehow, some way. But my point of direction in this is, why is Errol Spence having an excuse for every goddamn thing? He said he don't know why Bud Crawford showed up to the fight. Every man, especially if you're alpha and you understand that you are, right? We don't move the same. We don't move the same. If life was simulated as such, it'd be easier for us to go on about our business and make decisions, right? But that's not the case. So in this particular facet right here, when we're talking about this scenario right here with Errol Spence, why is it he continue to adjust the goalpost settings when it comes to fighting Terence Crawford? Why would you say in front of the camera and you don't know why he came to the fight and he should stick to his word? He said he didn't need me. So now you butthurt that Terence Crawford say, I don't need him to cement my legacy. He is correct, Errol. He doesn't need you, bro. He don't. He doesn't need you to cement his legacy. He is absolutely right. But for you, you need every bit of a Manny Pacquiao and Terence Crawford to build your legacy. Absolutely you do. Don't even try to pretend like you don't understand that. You can't sit up here and consider yourself one of the greatest off what you've accomplished up to this point. You got a whole lot of landscape left, bro. You act like you're trying to cut that damn shit with a push more. What the hell you think? You're going to wait for your stablemate, Jamel Charlo, to freaking drop those belts at the opportune time so you can fight for a vacant? So you can be 2-division champion? I hope you don't fight nobody that's a soft touch, because God damn it, isn't that what y'all accusing Terence Crawford is doing with Jeff Horn? Real talk. Remember I told you that. I hope Errol Spence ain't waiting for the perfect drop so he can fight for a vacant title against someone who don't have a name up there at 54. Because from what I got, from what I understand, he has 3 more fights. Supposedly 2 more fights before he fought Danny Garcia. But now his camp is coming out telling him he got 3 more fights. He's going to try to fight 3 times in 2021. So if that's indeed the case, and you plan on fighting 3 times in 2021, why in the hell are you apprehensive about mentioning Terence Crawford's name as one of the opponents that you choose to face in 21, knowing that the boxing masses, the boxing universe is waiting on this fight at welterweight between Errol Spence and Terence Bud Crawford? Tell me. Tell me, if it's already out here in the media that Errol Spence has 3 fights in 2021, why isn't he mentioning one of them and around about when he want to fight Bud Crawford? Why are you going to come to the press conference and just absolutely ignore that you don't even feel like engaging with Terence Crawford? Well, he said what he said. I don't know why he here. I don't know. But he said what he said. He should just stick to his word. So I heard somebody earlier in the live chat say some shit like they're just trying to build up the fight. If I'm in the fight game and I'm one of the top names of the sport, I'm not building up the fight by denying it. I'm not building up this motherfucking fight by denying it. If people are expecting me to face one of the best in boxing, top pound for pound, both of these are in the top 5 pound for pound. Boxers Writer Association of America, Ring Magazine, ESPN. If you have 2 fighters from the same division, why would you deny the presence of someone who is trying to fight you as if 2021 is 2022? Why would you do some shit like that? We're closing out 2020 and you're talking about moving up to 54, but yet you don't want to acknowledge when your camp has said that 2021 you plan on fighting 3 times, and you're absolutely ignoring, you're cascading the interests with piss. They say, you know what? He should just stick to his words. Then stick to his words. I don't know why he had to fight, though. I know he's a boxer, but why is he? I mean, come on, bro. Man, Bud come to PBC and then what? He tell him he need to get another title? Just make the freaking fight. What's going on, D. Hodges? Spence don't want Pac because of the resume, more or less, the numbers. Dude, same reason Crawford. Both of them want Pac. Both of them want Pacquiao. Of course, Terence Crawford should want Pacquiao. He has a WBA strap, and he brings a freaking audience. The same as I said about about Errol Spence. Of course. But then Errol Spence, wasn't he the one who said, get a belt? You gave the ultimatum, get a belt, and we'll make the fight happen. Oh, my fault. Okay. We're supposed to put this motherfucking, I understand. It's almost like having that new telescope and you're looking out up there and you're trying to find some shit on the moon. I got it. He really didn't make himself perfectly clear. He was going to make the fight happen, but he wanted you to look on the moon to see when exactly it was going to come close enough inside the stratosphere. Oh, I got it. I got it. Because in reality, it was supposed to be a meteorite that was descending on Earth. And when it gets close enough, then we can consider it, okay, cool. Let's acknowledge it that way. Just take a peek in the telescope and see what the forecast is and see how many miles it is to breach and touch. You know what I'm saying? And touch ground level. That's what we can do. That's what I should have examined when Errol Spence said that shit. We'll make the fight happen, but I never told you when it was going to happen. Please get out of here, man. It's ducking, man. Spence dancing like Gregory Hines. For real, man. Goddamn, motherfucker, goddamn. Showing out. Stage fright. One of those 3 fights can't be Crawford. Ace Boogie in the building. Salute to you. He said one of those 3 fights can't be Crawford. One of those 3 fights can be Crawford, Ace. But like I said before, I never said it wasn't going to be Crawford. I say if you plan on fighting 3 times and you've made the point that you're going to move up to 54, then why not just let us know, being that we're closing out 2020, that one of your oppositions is going to be Terence Crawford? That is all I'm saying. I'm saying, why don't you just give us just a little bit of sprinkle on top and say, you know what? I have 3 fights in 2021. I do have plans on moving up to 54. And yeah, by mid-year, I want to try to step in there with Terence Crawford for the WBO championship because he has no options. He has no choice. No one else is picking up that belt from Terence Crawford, period. So in order for Errol Spence to consummate his goal and become undisputed at welterweight, because that's what he said, we have to hold him accountable, then he has to come see Crawford. Crawford don't have to come see Errol Spence. He's already been undisputed. If you really want to think about it, yeah, he'll get a nice paycheck with Spence, but he don't have to come see Spence. He's a 3-division weight. He's a 3-weight champion. And he has an undisputed in there. That ain't going nowhere, shout. So after he beats Pac, will Crawford still deserve 50-50? Look, if Crawford picks up the WBA, I would say without any type of compunction, he deserves 50-50 with Spence. Without a doubt. Absolutely. You know why? Because both of them have 2 belts. Now, don't get me started on Jose Ramirez and Josh Taylor now, because people ain't talking about that shit. They actually have 2 belts apiece. But that's kind of off the topic I want to speak on. But I might touch on it, though. I might take the broom and sweep a little dust up with that shit. Only way I'm going anywhere but 147 is if I go undisputed or a Canelo fight happens. Okay, let's speak on that right quick, IB. Once again, Spence has mentioned that he wouldn't mind taking a fight with Canelo, right? But yet he wants 147. So when I mention it, it's like, oh, no, it's not a good idea for Spence to move up and weight to 160 and come back down to 47. But yet, if Canelo really showed interest, let's just say after the Callum Smith fight, he go get that WBA title, right? Let's say, you know what? I'm calling out Errol Spence. He called out Errol Spence to go up there and get a money fight. Now, it's a win-win for Errol Spence to a point. To a point. Because if he goes up there and loses to Canelo Alvarez, he still has his titles on 147. But now he has a loss on his record. So intelligent-wise, I don't see that being beneficial for Errol Spence if he wants to keep the momentum up to go in this fight and have negotiation leverage. That's just me. That's just me. It wouldn't be smart. Because first of all, Terence Crawford has more experience. We can look at his record. We're not going to go off knockouts. Terence Crawford only has 1 more knockout than Errol Spence. But we're talking about record, and he has an O on his record. We ain't talking about exhibition bouts. If Errol Spence moves up and take a fight with Canelo Alvarez and lose, he has a 1 on his record. Do you think negotiation process with Team Crawford is not going to mention, and you ain't undefeated no more because you chose to go up there and try to get a money fight with Canelo. Now you want to come back down here and talk this damn 60-40 bullshit. But you said, okay, I'm only going anyway. Okay. Money Man. He said, but you said Spence shouldn't be trying to fight Pacquiao. He 42. Make up your mind. This is what I'm saying. Spence can fight who he wants to. He can fight who the fuck he wants to. But why try to go up here and collect belts and fight an old ass antiquated Manny Pacquiao as if Terence Crawford don't matter? I don't have to make up my mind. Hit the replay, son. Hit the replay. If you really want to smoke with Terence Crawford, stop procrastinating and take the fight with Terence. If you just take the fight with Terence Crawford. Don't try to sit up here and say, well, I'm selling PPVs and Terence Crawford is not. I'm going to my own backyard because I want to keep it in Texas. I want to keep it in Texas. And, you know, I really can't wholeheartedly say that Errol Spence has been fighting. You know, it's something wrong with him fighting in Texas because he did go out there to the backyard of Kell Brook and get the IBF title. So I got respect. I got respect for that. But I don't have to make up my mind when I'm saying why Errol Spence is so intent on fighting Manny Pacquiao like he doesn't have to come see Crawford. The more you prolong the pain, the worse it's going to be once you finally face it. Either way it goes, if you go to Pacquiao first or if you go to Terence Crawford, you still got to go see the man that you need to give you the last. So it's according to how you want to get it. You got to have confidence in yourself, Spence. You got to go see Terence Crawford before you move up to say you was undisputed. You got to go see him. And right now you ain't beating him. Right now you're not beating him. You can procrastinate, prolong it all you want. Will you please explain how you lean towards Crawford? I'm not leaning towards nothing. Leaning is somebody who's basically biased. I'm not leaning towards nothing. I'm telling you who I believe is the better boxer. I believe Terence Crawford is the better boxer than Spence. After he stopped Jeff Horn, he stopped his 4 oppositions after that. I'm not leaning anywhere. I'm upright. And he ain't my man. I'm media. He ain't my man. I'm talking from a media perspective to the audience. So all I got to do is, ask you is understand where I'm coming from when I'm talking about media. Because just because black media talk about a black fighter doesn't have to be your boy or your man, your bandwagon, all this other shit. I've been out of middle school for a long ass time. Spence will lose and take a money grab, but he gets a 1 on his record. That provides him a more devalued negotiation leverage if he was to step in there with Bud Crawford, because now he has a 1 on his record. Isn't the O's worth something? Yes, it is. Who else in that division at the top of the food chain has O's on their record? I'll wait. Tell me. Terence Crawford is one of them. Errol Spence is another one. Keith Thurman got an O on his record? No. He cashed out with Pac. Does Pacquiao? I don't even have to ask that. We all know Pacquiao. 7 in the hole. He don't have a freaking O. Who's next? Danny Garcia? Absolutely not. What's going on, Major Key Boxing in the building? What up, WCS in the chat? Salute. Speaking my sports talk, what's good? Salute, man. Spence loses no leverage versus Crawford. With the loss to Canelo, he gains leverage even. Okay. Spence loses no leverage. Spence loses no leverage versus Crawford with a loss to Canelo. He gains leverage even. Okay, if you're talking about 50-50, we can do the 50-50. But I think, if you're talking about Errol Spence keeping an O or Terence Crawford picking up that WBA title from Pacquiao, I would rather see Terence Crawford pick up the WBA title from Pacquiao. It has nothing to do with age. It has something to do with all this hoopla that Spence is talking about. Get a belt, get a belt, get a belt. Okay, get another belt. So if he can pick up another belt from Pacquiao and then put Pacquiao to his resume, because Pacquiao, he holds weight even with Spence. But what I'm saying for Spence is He still has to come see Terence Crawford to complete, to absolutely seal his goal of becoming welterweight undisputed. Terence Crawford did not put that out there to the universe. He did not say, I'm coming up to welterweight to become undisputed. First and foremost, no, he came up and he let Errol Spence know, I want to fight you. And then Errol Spence is doing the same shit Keith Thurman did to him, sunning him. No, get a belt, get a belt. So if Errol Spence pick up another belt with Manny Pacquiao and gets the paycheck, okay, all right. Now Terence Crawford, he's going to have to make a little bit of compromise. He have to go in there and say, I want the fight because I know I can beat Spence. Let me make the fight 60-40. That's what you done. If Errol Spence coming in, 70-30, now I got another belt. Now he goes from the general of the DUCKMASTERS Coalition to the commandant. He goes from the general of the DUCKMASTERS Coalition to the commandant. Absolutely. He picks up the WBA belt and he increases his percentage heading into a fight with Terence Crawford. Is bullshit. He ain't trying to make the fight. And I know boxing is a business. Man, I'm not even gonna read that comment because money, you ain't talking about shit that makes dollars for real. Please, man. Brooke went up and still was the A side versus Spence. Brooke went up and still was he went down. I mean, I'm not sure. Brooke went down and still was the A side versus Spence his next fight. Crawford is already a champ, though. I'm just trying to figure out what you meant by that. Because Brooke, when he fought Errol, obviously was a champ. And obviously, in that scenario, Errol didn't have a belt. And, Kell Brook would have been the A side. Crawford is already the champ, though. Okay, I get what you're saying. All right, I get what you're saying to somebody. Okay, got you. Solid point. I ain't see D. Jeff in the building. D. Jeff in the building. Salute to you. Oh, okay. All right. Speaking my sports and talk. Okay, I got you. Man, I don't know some of y'all, man, channels, man, and different names. Okay, I got you. Fighting Pack has nothing to do with him fighting Crawford. Bud wants Pack before the Spence fight. So what's the difference? If Bud Crawford wants Pacquiao before the Spence fight, it's not like Spence has been freaking advocating to fight Crawford. Spence ain't been advocating to fight Crawford. So guess what? A man have to do what a man does. He has to damn relieve himself from being so eager to fight the man. Everybody say, oh, he's the best in the welterweight division. He has to digress a little bit and say, let me go over here and fight Pacquiao. Fuck it. Why should a man continue to plead and beg on something he's not getting any attention from? I mean, come on, that doesn't take something you have to go to school for. You have to use your, much as I want to say, you just have to use your common sense and maturity. You say, let me digress and fall back a little bit, and let me try to make this Manny Pacquiao fight. Plus, he gets another belt internally to that. He gets a WBA belt. Then when he goes to the table, negotiate, he has just a little bit more leverage in being a WBO and WBA champion. And that is a lot more credible than him saying, you know what? Let me talk about what I did in my boxing career. They already know what you did. But the main talking points is what have you did in the welterweight division comparable to Errol Spence. That's what everybody want to talk about. What has he done in the welterweight division comparable to Errol Spence? They're like Errol Spence did something absolutely phenomenal. This is not Zab Judah fighting Corey Spinks. What has Errol Spence did phenomenal in the welterweight division? Right now, he has 2 titles. He just picked up his second one before his car accident. What has he did that's so spectacular in a single division? He's a 2-time world champion. Crawford is a one-time world champion in the welterweight division. We're not talking about Anthony Joshua vice Tyson Fury type shit, where Anthony Joshua is a unified and has all the other belts, to include the IBO, okay? But we're not talking about that. Pacquiao is the freaking arbiter, right? He's the arbiter, right? He's more like that individual that's earned enough in boxing. He got the fight at his age that a lot of people would have loved. Really, being an 8 division champion, Pacquiao somewhat received the royalty treatment. Coming off a loss to Jeff Horn a little bit. Being able to work himself back into title contention because he's Manny Pacquiao. He's the good guy. Don't trash talk. He was able to get in there and for what people consider the strongest link, he was able to get in there and face Keith Thurman, who cashed out. He wanted to eat motherfucking Dairy Queen Sundays on the day of the fight. We all know he wasn't going in there to damn beat Pacquiao after the way he looked with Josecito Lopez. And must I say, look damn good this past weekend. Stopped a fighter who haven't been stopped before in Santana. But Pacquiao is one of those boxers who has royalty to his brand. He's in a class of his own. Even with 7 defeats, he's in a class. So when you come from the left and right side with Errol Spence and Terence Crawford, it's a no-brainer. They would want to goddamn fight Manny Pacquiao. It's a no-brainer. He brings the Filipino boxing nation with him. So therefore, if Terence Crawford is not selling PPV and y'all want to talk about his numbers with Amir Khan, let's talk about the other benefit he has to facing Manny Pacquiao, and that is the WBA world title. Now, for Errol Spence, of course, this is his only division where he's picked up championships. Of course, he would want to goddamn pick up the WBA title. Of course, it brings him one step closer to facing Terence Crawford, but he doesn't leave the division and go up to 54 because he has made it perfectly clear, I'm not leaving until I become undisputed. But Crawford, Spence, why do you think Crawford showed up to? I just think he showed. I don't even know why he showed. Man, come on, get out of here with that shit. He showed up because you and him have this crossroad that's pending. That's why he showed up. Both of y'all are top pound for pound. Stop playing. Michael said, thank you, Scott. Spence and his fans keep acting like Errol doesn't have to fight and beat Crawford to be undisputed. He can run, but he can't hide. I agree, man. I agree. Who has a better chin? No, you. Okay, you can say I'm biased all you want, man. You can say I'm biased. I mean, look, I'm not here to agree for everybody to agree with me in the live chat. I'm not here for that. I'm not here to go back and forth today about what people disagree with. Who has a better chin has absolutely zero to do with anything I'm talking about. Zero. It absolutely has nothing to do with what I'm talking about. Nothing at all. I could care less who has the better chin. What I do care about is them stepping into the freaking ring with one another and fighting. And right now, Errol Spence is freaking ducking and dodging. He's the general. And he has all the fresh excuses that he want to talk about with Bob Arum after Terence Crawford stops Kell Brook. And then most recently coming up to me, I don't even know why he showed up. He need to stick to his word. If he don't need me. So you seriously up here whining about what Crawford said he don't need you? When you told that man to his face in front of Bob and everybody that Sean Porter has a belt? No, it doesn't, because he would still have 3 belts if he beat Pac. Money Man, I think you just want WCS to say what you want to hear. No, it doesn't, because he would still have 3 belts if he beat Pac. If Errol, Spence, and Crawford beats Pacquiao, it's no Keith Thurman that's going on here. Errol, Spence, and Terence Crawford both beat Pacquiao. Period. It's no question. It's no doubt. Nothing to it. Both of them beats a 42-year-old Pacquiao. They do. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. And you know what? One of them may stop him. Terence Crawford may indeed stop Pacquiao. You'll get the temporaries up here talking about there's no way that he stops Pacquiao. He's been stopped several times in his career already. So why can't Terence Crawford stop him too? He's been stopping everybody else in 47 that's younger than Pacquiao. Why can't he stop Pacquiao? The only way Terence Crawford don't stop Pacquiao is out of respect. Crawford be like, you know what? You're a legend. I'm not trying to sit up here and give you that Nate Robinson treatment. I'm not trying to give you that Juan Manuel Marquez treatment. I'm going to give you respect. Or maybe not. Crawford might go in there and say, you know what? I want to prove a point heading into this Spence fight. If he ignored me before, he ain't going to deny the fact that I've stopped everybody I faced in the welterweight division. Now I'm going to go in here and make an example out of Pacquiao. It's a business. Might say I like Crawford's chin over Spence. Now, I think anyone with ears hear the biased points. Well, you know, that's good. I'm not going to keep on hyping on it. But appreciate you pulling up and being in the live chat, though. How, Michael, who hurt Spence and Mean Machine dropped Crawford? You can talk about what Green Beans did. Shout out to BFTV. I got to use the Green Beans shit. You know, whatever Green Beans did, what is the results? Let's talk about the results. Because people could talk about what happened in the fight all day long. Well, let's kind of take that for both fighters. Let's talk about what happened in the fights with both fighters. Errol Spence performances on going the distance with people who they thought he would stop. And then we talk about Crawford being dropped by Green Beans. What were the results? He dog walked him. What was the results? Does he still have an O on his record? Did it still constitute a knockout? Absolutely it did. Man, we ain't talking about no motherfucking gamble. Man, get the fuck out of here with that. I've been talking with WCS for a while about this. Spence don't want it. No bias, just a dispassionate observation. Hey, man. I'm just putting it out there, you know. Just like I told you all in the beginning. I showed you the videos of him making excuses. He was on ESPN First Take with Stephen A. Smith and Max Kellerman. How clear is it to be on the mainstream? And listen. How many boxers have you seen on ESPN? So when we do see them, they're only the big names. That's why I can't understand, like, certain boxers don't want to talk to, you know, the new media. It's only certain names that make it to ESPN when it comes to boxing. Seriously. So if Errol Spence wants to get on here and talk it up and say get a belt, he needs to basically follow through with it. Just like the jumper. If you're going to shoot a 3, make sure you follow through. Look, I don't mind. Don't think I don't mind dropping a link. But I'm not getting on here talking about something that you've just spoken on in the damn live chat. You have to come up here first and convince me about that. And plus, I'm not trying to go freaking 4 hours, because this will last for 4 hours. And you ain't going to overtalk me on my own shit. So if you're going to come in here and say the same stuff over and over again, what you've been saying in the live chat, I'm not sure what common ground we're going to reach if you're still saying the same comments you're saying in the live chat. I'm biased. I'm this. You're not giving me anything with some substance to say, okay, drop the link so we can talk about something that makes sense for the viewing audience. Nobody's not afraid to drop a link, but I don't have time for motherfuckers to get on here and start cussing, and I just don't have time for that shit. I can have a sensible dialogue with people, but make it about substance, about what we're fucking talking about. Because I don't sit up here and just disrespect people I don't know. That's too much energy. But I'm just saying, you've been extremely on one side since I've read your comments. So for you to get on here and start talking the same noise, it's pointless to give you airtime for that. I need for you to attempt to educate me, not tell me the same shit you've been saying in the live chat. No, I don't have a problem with being educated, but educate me on something that's factual and something that makes a lot of sense to what I've talked about since I started the live. The only thing you can do is you can kind of break down a better scenario for what Spence is doing. You know what I'm saying? You can kind of provide me with some other factors for which Spence is doing what he's doing with Crawford. Why he's sitting up here procrastinating. Why he isn't directly going for Crawford. I can tell you because he's ducking. At money, Sean Porter hurt Errol a couple of times. Fact, if it wasn't for the KO, he would have won. Hey, I agree with that, D. Hodges. You know, people, I didn't even mention anything about Sean Porter hurting Errol Spence because, look, you have to watch the fight more than one time to know that. And I don't even find it relevant to tell people who don't believe it. But he did. That's fact. That's facts. Real talk. That is fact. So for 7 years, he hasn't been begging Pac-Man. I'm not sure what that means. I was about to type the exact same thing. He did catch him early, clearly, but hurt. I don't believe. See, you know, you don't believe anything people talking about. D. Hodges just spit some facts to you, and you don't believe. You want to more so focus on Green Beans and Crawford, but you don't want to identify and acknowledge the Sean Porter Errol Spence moment. I get it. He's done more than Crawford at this point. In the welterweight division, or in his career. Because if that's D. Jefferson, I know you smarter than that, bro. Bro, I know damn well you're talking about the welterweight division, right? Because you can't be talking about in his career. I know you better than that, bro. For real. I know that for a fact. You are talking specifically to the welterweight. The perimeters of the welterweight division, that is it. You cannot be addressing his entire boxing career. There's no way, no how. We cannot discard other divisions where fighters have picked up championship belts and zone in to one single division just because the topic of discussion is between two top pound for pound boxers in the sport. We can't sit up here and deny that it doesn't resonate across the board with other boxing divisions. How many divisions are out there where we have two champions who are top 5 pound for pound? And I know it's not too recently Spence then moving to the top 5. I know it because for a while he was sitting behind Alexander Usyk at 6 at the Ring magazine. Facts. But now we have 2 top 5 pound for pound. I don't care what we talking about Teofimo Lopez Vasily. Vasily don't have any belts. But Errol Spence and Terence Crawford both have belts, and they're on the top 5 pound for pound on the Ring magazine. And we can go to the BWAA, Boxers Writing Association of America, and you get a different reading. They got Terence Crawford, high up down the food chain. And then ESPN has Terence Crawford number 1, Canelo 2. But I need to read down further in the comments, Sports Talk, because I know you're talking about the welterweight division. See, Money Man, you're not really telling me anything with substance. You're just going off fault. We're just talking about the welterweight division. We're talking about Sean Porter with 2 losses heading into there, right? And who else are we talking about? Kell Brook, who had 1 loss, right? Who a lot of people say, oh, he's damaged. So you want to talk about how much he was damaged from Gennady Golovkin and Errol Spence, but you ain't going to talk about him being damaged, coming down from Triple G at a higher division to fight Errol Spence and then being stopped for a different side, being damaged. But yet when he's stepping there with Terence Crawford, he's damaged goods. So who is this best in the division? I already told you earlier in the live, he dropped down to 47 on his 4th professional fight, if I'm correct. He's been campaigning at a single division his entire career. So why wouldn't he have a better resume at 47? He's been there the entire freaking time. Extracting the first 3 fights on up to the current. What should he have? He should have the better resume. Come on. Come on, man. Crawford is a 3 division. Spence has been campaigning under the same umbrella for his entire career. I say 97% of his career. Why wouldn't he have the better? I'm not getting anything from that. He fought the better guys, top guys at the division. How long did it take him to do it? You have Teofimo Lopez, 15 fights, he beat Richard Comey. People say he ain't the best. He was a champion. He was a freaking champion. Then he fight Vasily Lomachenko, 16 and 0. He has a freaking top pound for pound previously. He's still in the top 10. People still having in BWA top 10. ESPN still having in the top pound for pound. And also Ring Magazine have Vasily. He has absolutely 0 belts. But Teofimo Lopez did in 16 fights. What are we talking about? How long has Errol Spence been in the welterweight division? How long has Errol Spence been a professional boxer? How long has he been in the welterweight division? How long has Terence Crawford been in boxing? And how many divisions does he have to his resume? Before you all come talking about what's going on with the welterweight division and he got the best guys, he absolutely should. He should have the better resume. Pack fight win. Don't be surprised. Man, either one of them. Look, I ain't mad at either one of them get the pack out. I'm not biased like that. I'm not gonna say I don't want Spence to fight Pacquiao, period. I don't want Crawford to fight Pacquiao, period. I'm saying from the inception of your own words to the current, Spence has a lot of excuses in the queue. He has a cachet of multiple excuses when it comes to Terence Crawford, specifically Terence Crawford. We're not talking about Pacquiao. He has a lot of excuses directed, specifically targeted for Terence Crawford. Michael said he barely beat Porter. Exactly, man. A lot of people say that if he wouldn't have gotten a knockdown in the 11th, possibly would have been a draw or he would have lost. Spence is definitely a proven champ. I can't say he's not a proven champ. He's a 2-time world champion. But he's been a welterweight majority of his career. Shouldn't he have the better resume? Shouldn't he? I don't see him handling business like Bud. Spence ain't stopped anyone lately. Man up. It ain't man down, man up. When it comes to Spence, it's man up. And that's strictly for him. That's not his opponents. That's the Spence. Man up, bro. Man up. 21 Strong said, Money Man, we don't know. They would have to face, then we will see. My point exactly. Spence been ducking like he doesn't have to see Bud. Bud doesn't need Errol. Bud doesn't need Errol. Bud don't need Errol. I'm talking to hardcore boxing fans. I'm talking to people who follow the sport. I'm assuming, okay, something every day entices you to tune into the sport of boxing. That's all I'm saying. It's just a generalization of the audience that's tuned in to WCS that you follow the sport of boxing somewhat, some way. You tune in every day. So therefore, when it comes to it, you totally understand that Bud don't need Spence to cement his legacy. That's what Crawford said. But what does Errol Spence do? He should just stick to his word. He say he don't need me. He sound like a side chick. Well, I'm gonna go ahead and give you all this. You say you don't need me. I'm giving you too much time. You say you don't need me. How are you gonna be so sensitive to Terence Crawford words when you're not sensitive to your own? You said get a belt if he beats Jeff Horn, and he did exactly that. But then you come up with something else, and you come up with something else, and then you come up with something with Bob Arum said, the proof is in the pudding. What pudding? What pudding? And then the post-fight conference, the post-fight presser of Danny Garcia. I don't know why he here. I wouldn't have shown up to none of his fights. But you show up to Sean Porter fight, right? You know why you showed up to Sean Porter fight? Because you wanted to fight him. Come on, man. You ain't making no fucking sense. You showed up to Sean Porter fight because you wanted to fight him. That's why you showed up. Bud Crawford showed up to your fight to be seen. Of course he wanted to fight. People up here saying, well, why he didn't hop in the ring? Why? So Spence can say, well, I told you online that we was going to make the fight, and you show up here to my hometown and try to make a big scene. I told you we need to just do business outside the ropes. You don't have to come up here and just do this. And Crawford like, man, I've been talking to you outside the ropes for the longest time, man. And now it's time to talk to you in front of the people. That's why I'm here. Well, you're not going to get anything done approaching me. What about when you did it with Sean Porter? Well, see, that was different. That was different. Yeah, that was different right there. What was different about it, Errol? Well, Sean Porter, see, he was an easier fight to make. And, you know, I just had this apprehension, it's just a tough fight, period, physically and mentally. Just own up to it, Errol. Physically and mentally, Crawford is a tough fight for you. Physically and mentally, Crawford would give you your first loss. Physically and mentally, Crawford would give you your first loss. Bud and Spence playing all of you like a piano. Hey, media, look, when it comes to media, we can't wait for everything to come to fruition before we speak on it. We have to talk on certain topics when they actually present themselves on the surface. If we actually waited for something to come to fruition, it would be no media in existence. So we absolutely have to talk about talking points. We have to grab hold of all these freaking media bites that's out there. We have to digest them as we see fit and regurgitate what's important to the listening audience. And that's all we're doing. This is a huge topic, and no one can say otherwise. Spence and Crawford is a big topic when it comes to boxing. Real talk. It's a big topic. So you have to go in there and break it down and talk about it subjectively, objectively, however you see fit. What we say out to the viewing audience, is it going to bring the fight any closer? Is it going to expedite? No. It's media. But sometimes within media, there's extreme bias. Always, there's extreme bias. from some people. Crawford is a proven champ as well. Hasn't fought the top welterweights yet, though. Excuse me. I've said Horn was a top welterweight only because he beat Pacquiao for a title. Horn ain't shit, though. Look, Horn has had a subpar, scale of performances following this, right? I understand. But when it comes to who he defeated, how can we not identify Jeff Horn defeating a fighter who's in a class of his own, a legend of the sport? He defeated and roughed up Manny Pacquiao in their fight. So then we move on to him holding the WBA title. And he went in there and defeated freaking Keith Thurman, who cashed out just like Anthony Joshua did against Andy Ruiz, just like Charles Martin did, just like so many fighters that I could bring up. But I'm just saying, and generalizing it, right? Why don't Jeff Horn get credit for defeating Manny Pacquiao, and you want to say he's old and decrepit, but yet he's an 8th division champion? So moving on to Terence Crawford stepping up a weight, stepping up, doing the same thing Mikey Garcia did. According to who you're talking to now, Mikey Garcia moved up 1 division, Mikey Garcia moved up 2 division. Listen, what division did he move up when he actually went to 47? It was 35, okay? So therefore, let's back it on up and let's go back to Terence Crawford. His first fight up to his new division, he went in there and fought Jeff Horn, who previously defeated Manny Pacquiao, and he was a champion, undefeated, and he got the job done. Right, King, but that matters in negotiation. It's the only top welterweight to me is Porter. Danny isn't a top welterweight. Good shit, 21. I'll link up with you on that. Because you got fools going around here. I gotta make it known. You got fools going around here talking about Danny Garcia was undefeated. And then you have grown-ass fucking men co-signing that shit. Danny Garcia has not been a champion since he moved to welterweight. Can we say that about Terence Crawford? Terence Crawford defeated a champion. Danny Garcia did not. So therefore, why are you all boosting the shit out of Danny Garcia and he ain't defeated a champion since he's been in welterweight? Somebody explain that shit to me. Explain that shit to me, goddammit. Why are you going to boost up Danny Garcia when he fought Errol Spence? And the man ain't defeated a champion since he's been in welterweight. I'm waiting. Just ask. I'm just asking a question. How can you boost up DSG, who has always been incomplete when it comes to the welterweight division? He fought for a vacant title, first of all, after tiptoeing his way up there to Salka and freaking Peterson, 141, 143 catch weights. And then he stepped up and fought Paulie Malignaggi, who had already been defeated by Adrian Broner. And then he stepped in there and finally fought for a vacant title. He has not defeated a champion since he's been the welterweight. But when he steps in there with Errol Spence, he's supposed to be this, oh man, that's a tough guy right there. Danny Garcia, look at his resume. Okay, once again, he's a 2-division champion. What has he done at welterweight? He got his belt taken by Keith Thurman after 1 defense by Samuel Vargas. What has he done? Stop playing. What has he freaking done? Why y'all sitting up here talking about, oh, well, Errol Spence, he's top pound for pound now since he beat Danny Garcia. That's full of bullshit, y'all. That's bullshit right there. Because how the fuck you gonna say Danny Garcia boosts Errol Spence? He injects some type of different momentum. What are we talking about? How does Danny Garcia, who hasn't defeated a single champion, he hasn't took the belt from a single champion at welterweight, how are you going to say, oh, Errol Spence moves up in the pound for pound list if he beats Danny Garcia? he defeats Danny Garcia, and no one is saying, well, what has Danny Garcia did at welterweight? Except lose. What has he done? We're not talking about him stopping Adrian Granados. We're not talking about him going in there against Ivan Red Catch. We're talking about champions. How many champions has he beat? Yeah, throw that shit over there Crawford way. Crawford to tell you I fought a champion my first fight at welterweight. Did Spence do that? How long did it take Spence to pick up a title with Kell Brook? I'll wait. Some people just want to argue. Who's cussing? I got my son here. I haven't cussed or called anyone out there, but name. Not sure what you're talking about, bro. Unless you're talking about what I said earlier. That's just, look, it's just a general statement of what I've been reading in your comments. Like, I'm not sitting up. Look, it's okay for you to have an opinion, man. I respect your opinion. That money, man. This is the first time I seen you on the channel. But really, for me to debate something, I have to get some type of education from it, because I don't go into this shit. I don't go in here trying to be right about everything. But if you're going to bring a different side, I don't want to hear the same stuff that you talked about in the live chat about, well, who got the better. I don't want to hear about who got the better resume at welterweight, because why did it take Errol Spence so long to freaking get where he at? The man's been in welterweight forever and a day. So Terence Crawford moves up to welterweight, and what? His title don't matter. Even though Jeff Horn defeated Manny Pacquiao, his title don't fucking matter. It does. It does matter. You trying to say Terence Crawford undisputed division don't matter? It does matter. It also matters in the negotiation process. How is it that nothing matters to Terence Crawford when it comes to the welterweight division, but yet you all are not even considering the fact of how long Errol Spence has been a welterweight? So you're saying, well, if you want to make one of the biggest fights right now that we're looking for in boxing between Errol Spence and Terence Crawford, we got to look at their resume at welterweight. So are we digging all the way back to when he actually turned welterweight, when he dropped down from welterweight to now? Are we basically trying to analyze what Terence Crawford was doing in that time, winning championship belts at other divisions, while Errol Spence finally got a shot at Kell Brook? Are we basically putting those in the analytics? Like we love looking at YouTube for analytics. Are we providing that? Are we gauging? Are we gauging all of that collectively as data to come up with these talking points? Are we doing that? Because I'm tired of hearing what Errol Spence has done at welterweight when he's been in the division forever, many, many moons. And Terence Crawford comes up here, defeats a champion who's undefeated, and then defeats several other opposition and defend his title who had O's on their record. But none of the four he defended his title makes any relevant sense because people don't want to acknowledge it. That's BS, y'all. Can't let that fly. I can't let that fly. Come on, man. Errol Spence has been in the freaking welterweight division forever. Why don't he have, what took him so long? He's the boogeyman, right? Back then, he was a boogeyman, right? I'm not hearing that shit. He did. What fact he said he hurt Porter? That's not a fact. What fact he said he hurt Porter? That's not a fact. I'm talking about Porter hurting Errol Spence. People don't want to acknowledge the fact that Porter did, in fact, hurt Errol Spence in that fight. That is a fact. And the fact that Errol Spence dropped Porter, that is a fact. Appreciate that, Kano. Let me help that person off and get back down to the facts. Don't have time for trolls. SB90 say salute WCS. Keep applying that pressure, big bro. All this money talk is ruining the sport. We want to see the best fight the best. Simple. I agree. Spence isn't trash, yet to prove the talk he's talking, he has to see Bud. That's a big asterisk on Errol's resume, man. It doesn't get any simpler than that. Seriously, that's all I'm saying. It doesn't get any simpler than what you just said. That's straight line right there. He has to see Bud, end quote. He has to see Bud, end quote. How simple does it get? If you are saying you ain't leaving the welterweight division, you have to see Bud. So why act like just because you want to say, okay, Pacquiao? It's not like you got 6 titles to go through. You know what I'm saying? Don't act like it's 6 titles out there, right? You have 2 already. So you have 4 more to get. That's not the case. The case is that you're the unified champion. Kudos to you. You've been in the division for many moons, many sunsets. And you just recently was able to beat Kell Brook and Sean Porter. And people saying, well, his resume. Well, why is it that some people boost up Chris Algieri, the nutritionist, and some people don't? Why do some people boost up Lamont Peterson and some people don't? You can't have it both ways and say, well, what Terence Crawford has did since he's been to the division. First and foremost, like I reiterated, just look at the damn box rec. That's all you got to do. He defeated the champion, which Errol Spence didn't do when he joined the division. It's fact. Errol Spence didn't do that. He didn't defeat a champion once he turned over to welterweight. He did not. He picked up. If I want to be petty, I'm channeling my Stephen A. Well, Max, if you want to be petty, we can look at him picking up his first title with Kell Brook. Did he not stop him in the 11th max? Well, you want to look at Terence Crawford. When did he stop Jeff Horn? In 9 rounds. Who did it better? I mean, seriously, if I really want to be petty, I can do that. I believe they will fight after either or fights Pac-Man, and I'm okay with that because then it's for undisputed. Look, I have no freaking problem with how they get the shit done. But don't say you fighting 3 fights in 2021, Kano, and don't even acknowledge that, okay, this around the time I want to fight Crawford. I'm not leaning. I'm not saying, oh man, I don't want Manny Pacquiao to fight Errol Spence, period. I have suggested previously that I would rather Terence Crawford fight Manny Pacquiao before Errol Spence. I have absolutely suggested that, people. I'm being honest. I have absolutely recommended that I hope Crawford fights Manny Pacquiao 2-2, somewhat the same suit that is worn at the junior welterweight division with Jose Ramirez and Josh Taylor. That's all I'm saying. It's about the best fighting each other. Pac-Man represents the bigger payday and the chance to get a legend on the resume, also named notoriety. Hey, I agree. But once again, for me, I've mentioned that for Crawford's effort, since Spence is all about 60-40 and trying to make this about money and you know what Bob Arum said, and he don't know why Crawford is showing up to the fight. What is going to be Spence's excuse if Crawford beats Pacquiao and picks up a WBA? Well, he was supposed to do that. I mean, Manny Pacquiao, 8 division champion, but the proof is in the pudding. He's 42 years old. Proof is in the pudding. But Errol, we want to know, are we going to see this fight now? Crawford has been able to pick up the WBA world title for Manny Pacquiao. Within the 3 fights in 2021, you know, the remaining year, are we any closer to getting you and Terence Crawford? Well, I have to check with my team and see what's going on. You know, I mean, I have a whole lot of other things on, you know, on my plate. You know, Canelo want to fight at 160. Errol's gonna move the motherfucking goalpost, man, with track shoes on. I don't know what this dude when he's gonna commit to fighting Bud, but either way it goes, I got Bud. We seen wobbly leg Terence hit the floor. And see, look, hit the floor, never seen him pour the fight. Thus, I don't know if he was hurt. See that right there has nothing to do with anything we're talking about. I'm trying to talk about their credentials. I'm trying to talk about the reality of what we're looking at with 2 top pound for pound fighters. All that wobbly leg and all this freaking other nonsense. You know, you can fragment the value all you want, but at the end, if you win the fight and you're top pound for pound, that doesn't do too much when it comes to the criteria of pound for pound. Oh, well, Green Machine landed a good shot. It does nothing. They don't subtract points on the pound for pound. It's the end result. There, money man, get it, put it in your pocket. It's the end result, the mission accomplishment. Did you earn a victory or did you earn an L? Which one is it? That's most important. He was damaged when he fought Errol. He was damaged when he fought Errol. I'm just trying to read this and make sense of it. He was damaged. I don't know why it's so difficult for people just to be specific on what they're saying. He was damaged when he fought Errol. Are we talking about Kale? Who are we talking about? I'm not reading these comments as they're coming to live chat, but please help me out and put names, attach names to it. You know what I'm saying? Porter buckled Errol a few times, man, it's fact. He hurt him. And then Money said he was damaged when he fought Errol too. I'm not sure. You might just trying to bloviate, you know, the response to the comment, I think. Money Man has his mind made up, y'all. I get it. Michael said Money Man has his mind made up. Hey, Mike, he had his mind made up since he came into the live chat. Shit. Sounds like y'all have y'all minds made up. And he responded, look, nobody's mind is made up. Now you're mentioning, you know, like you're talking about things that has nothing to do with moving forward in this fight. The only reason I reflect upon certain pockets in these fights with both fighters is because I hear a lot of people discrediting Bud's resume. Not only his resume in welterweight, but his resume as a fighter. But I'm trying to tell you, like, if y'all trying to say Bud Crawford is garbage, and what have you done for me in the welterweight division? Just look at the knockouts and the stoppages and him defending his title. If he defeated Jeff Horn and defended his title 4 times, why are you saying he gets no credit for that? I respect Bud Crawford's journey more. 3 divisions does mean something. That's all I'm saying too, bro. And he has an undisputed in there. Yeah, I'm sure Spence is and has been making excuses. They bet $1 million. Man, Spence ain't gonna come good on that. He's not gonna make good on that $1 million. Come on. He was just, look, Spence was just at a horse auction. He's up here now going to check on horses and putting out media. Oh, well, from what we see, this horse is going for $1 million. I've never been a part of something like that. He's now attending horse auctions, which is nothing wrong with that. But why are you not acknowledging that you have a horse in the race with Terence Crawford at welterweight division. It don't matter how you try to change your life over. The fact is your primary job is boxing, right? So therefore, if that is the case, acknowledge the fact that you have a horse and Terence Crawford is waiting. Let's go. Major Key Boxer said they bet $1 million on the fight. So that should be the upside to settle the money split issue. Man, that's if Errol Spence want to own up to it and honor his word, man. I see Pac-Man giving both Crawford and Spence some trouble. Don't see Pac-Man winning, though. Hey, Mitch, I don't. And I'm going to tell you why, man. I'm going to tell you why I don't see Pacquiao giving them trouble. And this might get people mad and shit, you know, because, you know, once again, I'm just a tyro. I'm just a neophyte. I'm going to tell you what, Manny Pacquiao, if he has to take the cup and urine, would get absolutely destroyed. Because he did not have to go through that with Keith Thurman. Nor Broner. If he goes to strict drug testing in his next fight, if it's with Terence Bud Crawford or Errol Spence, he would not look like that Manny Pacquiao that we've seen with Adrian Broner and Keith Thurman. The Manny Pacquiao that looked like at 41 years old, he still had that gas tank. If he's in strict drug testing, he's not going to look as vibrant when the fights start to get to the mid rounds. It might be a one-sided affair for real. And I'm not hating on Pacquiao. I'm just telling you. People choose to ignore that. But come on, man. How many are they gonna give him fights out the door with no drug testing just so he can look competitive and kind of give the other fighter a little bit more money on their purse to accept the fight with no drug testing? Come on, man. That ain't cool. Both have fought. Geez, let's not forget the most recent where Bud said 64 is his way or no fight. I can acknowledge that Bud did say that. But why shouldn't he say that? Since Errol Spence is making it about money now. Let's not forget who initiated that, Colonel. Who initiated the money? Errol. The same person who initiated the WBO title, Errol. The same person who initiated Bob Arum. I don't want to say what Bob Arum said, but the proof is in the pudding. Who is initiating all the talking points? The duck points. Errol Spence. He initiated the 60-40. Why wouldn't Bud turn around and say, my value is 60-40? It must be in my favor, else I ain't taking the fight. Why not? Errol Spence has made every freaking excuse possible not to take the fight. He wanted to fight Sean Porter. He told him to his face. So y'all act like Bud can't come back and say, you know what, 60-40, you talking about me? I think I should get that shit. Because he knows Errol Spence, if he's to unify for Undisputed, he has to come see him. Like I will reiterate once again, Bud Crawford did not say that his end goal was to unify the welterweight division to move up to 54. That's Errol Spence, the same one who's been a two-time world champion, a single division champion, a single weight class. That is it. Money man trying to get some friends. Exactly, Kano. Business is business. The fight is another thing. Man, come on now. Y'all gonna try to say 60-40, it's a business all of a sudden when freaking Errol Spence is talking all this get a belt shit. All of a sudden, he changes the damn margin. He changes the margin, y'all. Now it's about 60-40. It's not about the WBO title. It's not about that anymore. It's about freaking 60-40 now. You can't bring some facts and leave the rest of the facts out, bro. I'm not sure if that's to me or somebody else. What facts did I leave out? Because Errol, look, if you're talking about that 60-40, I just told you the facts. Errol Spence is the one that initiated it. Why is he talking so much about money now? And he initially said, get a belt. That's a fact too. That's a fact before the fact that Terence Crawford says 60-40 should be in his benefit. That's a fact. What's going on, Ken? Salute to the wrenches and salute to the chat. Smash the like button. I appreciate it. Those of you in the building, do me a favor and smash that like button. I don't say it much because those who fuck with me, smash the like button without being told. I mean, y'all grown adults. I appreciate it. Salute there, Ken. J8 in the building. What's good? Bud have done things too. They both need to compromise for the fight to happen. Look, I don't disagree with them compromising. All right. Not once you heard me say, they shouldn't compromise, but it's what they're compromising. What compromise is it? It becomes a very, very fine line when you say compromising. If Errol Spence has made it perfectly clear, it's about the belt. Now he changes to 60-40. What constitutes 60-40? What are we meshing together for value in the sport of boxing? We're meshing together championships. We're meshing together divisions of championships. And we also meshing together the current division that both of these guys are competing in. All right. A lot of people want to take in consideration that Errol Spence did this amazing freaking achievement award. He earned Oscars at the welterweight division for taking fights that nobody else will take. When in fact, when he stepped in there and fought Kell Brook, he was coming off a tough fight at a higher division. And it took him 11 rounds to do it. If you want to look at Terence Crawford, yeah, he went into the 12th round with Jose Benavidez, but he stopped him. What are we comparing to the achievements? Shawn Porter? Shawn Porter's another one. I respect him, but he lost his belt to Kell Brook. How many defenses was it? Terence Crawford sitting at 4 right now. How many defenses was Shawn Porter when he fought Kell Brook? Then let's talk another one. Let's talk another one. Yeah, he went in and fought for the vacant WBC title, right? But before that, how did he fare against Keith Thurman? How? How did him and Danny Garcia fare against Keith Thurman? I'm just asking, how did it happen? What were the results to boost these guys up? Because when you look at undefeated records on Terence Crawford and who he walked in the 12th round with and who did not make it to the 12th round, he's stopping his opposition, right? So when you go over to Errol Spence, you want to mention Kell Brook and Shawn Porter. And most recently, Danny Garcia, who did what Danny Garcia does. He competes just good enough to come in second. It's a 50-50 fight. All right, we agree. All right, 50-50. Not in Errol Spence's eyes, it ain't. Sir Ken say major kickboxing salute. Connell said exactly, Jade. They both make mistakes. Let's get one thing understood. Both of them was not chasing Pacquiao. Terence Crawford more so reverted his attention to Manny Pacquiao because Errol Spence making all these fucking excuses. Why is a man to continue to chase someone? Why? Why is a man to continue to chase someone that is not acknowledging him? When Bud Crawford was going off on social media, what happened? The fight not gonna happen. It's not gonna be made on social media, and it's not gonna be made outside social media. You proved that, Errol. It's not gonna be made outside social media either. So it's a lose-lose situation for Terence Crawford. So as a boxing being a business first, right? Why wouldn't it be smart and intelligent for Bud to change directions and say, fuck it. Let me go to Manny Pacquiao. Errol's not trying to acknowledge what I'm trying to do. We two top pound for pound fighters, and he don't even want to acknowledge what I got going on. Am I right or wrong? Is it smart for him to continue to chase somebody who isn't trying to give him that attention? It's not smart. Money Man Facts. Both need to get it done. If Manny not there, stop chasing. I respect Scotty, but he is on one side on this argument. I don't think Bud saying 60-40 is ducking at all. I don't think Bud saying 60-40 is ducking at all. He is the A side. Michael Lewis, you think Bud is the A side? Money Man, but you seen Mean Machine drop, still talking about the same stuff. Who gives a fuck why Crawford showed up and why he did when he was there? Spence versus Crawford fans getting on my nerve. Spence on one to boost the other. I mean, shit on one to boost the other. Shit is whack. Both great fighters. Both are similar. I don't see Errol Spence as a great fighter right now. That's just me. But you know, I that's what I see, Mitch. And Kano, I mean, you have the right to your own opinion, but I don't think I'm being one-sided. I don't. The replay is there. After this closeout, the replay is there. I'm not being one-sided. I don't know how many angles I have taken on this conversation about both fighters. But my thumbnail is what it is. It's just one of those that I have basically said that Terence Crawford is a boogeyman at 147. And I've just given you so many angles as to what my point is, my talking point, to why I say that. Manny Leggins is set. He don't need Errol or Bud. Absolutely he don't. Of course not. That's not even, look, that's not even something I ever mentioned. You know what I'm saying? I never mentioned that Manny needs either one of them. But when it comes to Terence, Bud Crawford, Errol Spence, Manny Pacquiao has that WBA title. So he is the middleman. He is. He's the keeper to what they're trying to accomplish. But the one thing that Manny wants to do, he wants to be the last man standing for the undisputed. That means he makes the most money out the door. Manny's about to go and, you know, back to the Philippines and be a politician full time. So of course he wants to be the last man standing in the undisputed welterweight title fight. He doesn't want to be the next man because therefore the fight is not as big as it should. I know people saying that, hey, either way it goes, Manny, he gonna make money. He is, but how special would it be for your last fight to be undisputed? It would be epic for Manny at his age to be in an undisputed fight in his last fight. Agree that Ken, Mitch, that's why I made my video on the subject today, and it was non-biased. I don't know, Colonel, why you keep talking about our bias, man. I'm far from being biased on this. I'm far from being biased on this. Come on, bro, man. I'm far from being biased. Just because I'm not agreeing to the fighter that you support, I made some solid facts, man. Even on the 60-40, you say I left out facts. How? Errol Spence brought up 60-40 as another way to discourage the fight. And now he want to make it about money. Before it was about belts, now it's about money. Can I just subscribe? I'm going to check it out. Cool. Subscribe to Kano Local Sports, man. Do that. Everyone is subscribe to his channel. Money Man, just put the link onto the video on here. Let me know if I made sense or not. Okay, who is on Crawford? And make sure y'all check out this video once I freaking finish the video. Make sure if it was absolutely contradicting or I didn't cover some solid points and facts on here. You know what I'm saying? All the tag teaming, it does nothing for WCS. It don't. It does nothing for me. You can tag team and agree with whoever. That's good. That's what boxing brings. Boxing brings a different type of current. That's great. If you call Spence the pound for pound, you are tripping. I never call him pound for pound. Can't throw some of the facts and ignore the rest of the facts. That has nothing to do with me. That has nothing to do with me. Because what people consider facts, sometimes it's just opinions. And last time I checked, you look up in the dictionary, facts ain't based off opinions. That's fact. He wanted Thurman in 2017, and had Thurman took the fight, Errol might already be undisputed. It depends. You know, it depends. That's a good way to look at the scope. It depends on if he will move that fast. You know, them accepting and facing killers back to back like that. It all depends. Like I said, Errol Spence has been campaigning at the welterweight division forever. I said I'm not biased. I think Crawford's skills could outbox Spence, but Spence power and Crawford lack of discipline. But Spence power and Crawford lack of discipline sometimes make me see 50-50. Money man, once again, man. When you said I think Crawford's skills could outbox Spence, but Spence power and Crawford lack of discipline. What's his lack of discipline again? Are you talking about with green beans? What are we talking about? Lack of discipline. What are we talking about? You talking about somebody that don't drink or smoke, who's not out here in the streets doing whatever? I'm not sure. Clarify that just a little bit more for me. Just please do that for me. Errol Spence versus Crawford is the fight to make. I feel Manny will relinquish his title and duck. I don't think so, man. I don't think the way the Filipinos do business, Manny ain't relinquishing nothing. I disagree, IB. I disagree with that. I don't think Manny Pacquiao is relinquishing a motherfucking thing. That is money, 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 money for Manny. 8 divisions of money. It all comes down to a final fight, which he keeps the WBA title, and he fights one of the top 2 pound for pound. Now, look, Manny Pacquiao is hanging out. Manny Pacquiao, I swear to you, people keep him floating around on some of these pound for pound lists. It depends, you know. They have to see each other. Valid points on both sides. Most are just contrary to the opposition. Lots have been said, but less have been done as it pertains to the actual making Spence versus Crawford. They both have to sit down at the table and work it out. They got to see each other. Keyword, both. Yeah, both has to sit. Of course. I mean, that's how boxing made, right? Don't both sides sit down and talk? You know, we can say the A side, B side all day long, but when it comes down to it, Canelo versus Triple G, you know, Canelo went in there with how many belts again? He was the A side. It all depends on how they negotiate, man. It's not going to persuade me any way, being especially if this your first time, you know, visiting the channel. That's not going to do anything. Like I said before, I grew up watching tag team wrestling matches on Wrestling Entertainment. This is not one of them. You have the right to disagree. You know what I'm saying? Agree with whoever you want in the chat. It's not going to make any difference with me, because I'm one of the ones that's not extremely biased in any way, shape, or form. But just because I'm supporting Crawford, who you don't support, doesn't mean what you're saying is relevant. Just because both you and Kano are not going for Crawford, you're going for Spence in this fight. So I expect you all to say what you're saying. It's all good. But Spence don't beat Crawford. Spence comes up short. And he has a long road if he doesn't plan on facing Crawford. If he plans to move up to 54, he got to come see Crawford. So either one, he gets it done and he compromises, all right, or he tries something stupid and go up to 160 and fight Canelo, or he goes up to 54 without completing his freaking goal of unifying the welterweight division. Because hoping and praying that Crawford fights somebody else. Who is that going to be? Virgil Ortiz, Jerome Ennis, Sean Porter? Who y'all looking to beat Crawford? Because the shit ain't going to happen. Money Man, I know he's a friend of mine, so I respect him, but he's not giving us all the facts just half. It's not even half. It's more than half. It's more than half, Kano. It's more than half. Like, once again, opinions not based off facts. I don't know how many times I got said. Opinions are not based off facts. SB9, let's be honest, not even Spence fanboys want to see Pac fight again, but they got to go with the narrative. Either Bud or Spence need to take out Pac, man. He needs to be undisputed. Yeah, we already know that dynamic. Let me see. DSG been pampered for a long time, to be honest. I have more respect for Kale than DSG. That's from 11 p.m. What's good, man? Salute. Ken say neither fighter talks a lot. The people that want the fight are out here making serious conversations for both. They both need to stay in the gym and continue to fight until the fight happens. I agree with that. I agree. Gary, what's good? Say Manny is choosing Spence for a reason. He makes tactical decision. He knows Spence is an easier fight for him. Either way, like I said before, Manny Pacquiao gets defeated. Either way it goes. It's according to how he wants it. He wants Crawford work or he wants Spence work. Either way, he loses. He just want to make the fight that's going to earn him the biggest paycheck. That's my OP. You know what I'm saying? You can respect who you choose. Danny Garcia beats and you can respect who you choose. Danny Garcia beat the dog shit out of Kell Brook right now. I can't really argue that shit because I'm not a DSG. You know what I'm saying? DSG just give me the same freaking performances, and I'm like, God damn it. But some people's going for DSG. You know, I don't want to call them out, but there was some people on here. Oh, DSG. I'm going for DSG. I'm going for DSG. DSG gets it done against Errol Spence. And he looked absolutely nowhere close to it. But I ain't all about tag teaming. Crawford has defensive laps. Let me see. You can respect who you choose. Dan Garcia beats it. Okay. Crawford has defense laps and his chin shaky. Says Spence has a great chance. Well, listen, I can respect what you just said on your opinion in assessing performance of Crawford. All right. In some fights, he potentially may have had defensive laps. So what you just said is relevant to, your opinion on some of the fights he's been in. You know what I'm saying? But when it comes down to what happens in a fight between Spence and Crawford, yeah, it may be some type of adversity. I'm not going to go all the way against the grain, but that's been one of the more relevant statements you made since you've been in the live chat today. Kudos. Clap it up. See, hey, I'm as non-biased, bro. That's your opinion and assessment on Crawford based off his previous performance. But yet you're basically prognosticating that says Spence has a great chance. I get it. Like I said before, Spence loses against Crawford. As of December 2020, Kell Brook is not a top 15 welterweight. Facts. Yeah, facts. I agree, King, ready to quit. I think Khan wins. I don't know who wins the fight. Kell would trick the UK fans over and over. He have quit in multiple fights. J8. Now, you know damn well what fights have he quit in multiple fights? I know multiple is more than one, but what fights have he quit in multiple fights? Are you talking about Triple G and Errol Spence? Because he got stopped against Terence Crawford. So in 2 fights, let's just say 2 fights, because the last time I checked, don't Kell Brook only has 3 losses right now. Man, y'all be exaggerating the point sometimes. Come on, J8, man, come on. You make it seem like the man done quit in 6 fights. I'll just say Kell versus Danny. I don't know how we getting on Kell versus Danny. I can't put no emphasis in it. I can't give Kell Brook and Danny no. Hell no. The fight is 50-50. If it's KO, I lean towards Spence. All 12, I lean Crawford. You're going to lean towards Spence in a KO. That's hilarious. He just came off freaking going the distance with Mikey Garcia. He went the distance. He went the distance with Sean Porter. He went the distance with Danny Garcia. But you lean towards a KO with Terence Crawford. That's hilarious. Good stand-up. Good stand-up. Salute WCS. I appreciate it. 11 p.m. Salute. I don't think so. DSG top 10. KO not. When Bud Chin not there. Yeah, I was going for Danny. I just can't really give Danny any shine on my channel, man. He did what Danny does. Compete to be second, third, fourth, fifth. I know I better not see him hanging out at the top 2 again. He's lost to Sean Porter. Then he goddamn went up here and stopped Adrian Granados for the first time. And then, went the distance with Red Catch and then turn around and loses. He quit versus Bud, WCS, shelled up. I mean, you said several times. Come on now. I don't think he quit against Bud. He got stopped. Now, when I came on here saying that, Jade, he was like, no. Bud called him with a solid shot. Bud called him with a solid shot. It was a solid shot. When I said that how, when Bud counted him with the right and he all stumbling over there doing the hokey dokey and shit all in between the ropes, Tony Weeks run over there. You good? You good, Kel? You good? Yeah. And then Kel up there looked like he wanted to touch his nose with his glove. And then Weeks, resumed the fight. And then he goes into the other ropes, didn't throw one punch. Crawford ended up landing he threw like 6 punches. But landed like, 2 or 3? People were like, no. Kel didn't quit. It's just that Bud landed some solid shots. So that's why I was just saying, okay, what did he quit in? He got beat to a pulp against Triple G. He took a knee. And then he absolutely quit against Errol. But per the dramatics, we have to say he was stopped against Crawford. Crawford stopped Kell Brook. KO. Hi, Brother King. Brook rock man down, though. DSG couldn't touch man down. You're right. He gave Errol Spence all he can handle. Appreciate highlighting that, man. Appreciate highlighting that. I just haven't heard anything from the Kell Brook pioneers that was up here talking about he was going to defeat Errol Spence. I haven't really heard too much about those facts, that DSG and how he performed and what you graded his performance and all that. You said you clean towards Spence knocking out Crawford, right? Oh, you must be talking about money. Okay. What one funnest would do best at MMA? Bud or EJ? Bud. Hands down, Bud. I did say Spence has a better chin. Spence has a better chin. Okay. I mean, I'm not sure how you basically weighing that. You know what I'm saying? But that's your opinion. I'm not something I'm just going against for GP. I disagree, but that's my opinion. If it's a KO, lean towards Bud. If it's a decision, lean towards if it's KO, I lean towards Bud. If it's a decision. Okay, money. Got it. It was a 50-50 fight. 11 p.m. exactly. The Kell Brook that did okay versus Spence is long gone. Maybe you should watch Garcia versus Spence again, because maybe you should watch Garcia versus Spence again, because definitely landed some shots. Spence too, again, because then definitely landed some shots. Spence too. Crawford might KO Spence. Okay, you say Crawford might KO Spence, might KO, might out pressure and out punt Bud. Out pressure? You think what you seen from Danny Garcia? You think what you see from Mikey Garcia? That's gonna be Bud? Come on, man. You think you're gonna have Errol Spence coming out the gate pressuring Bud like that, like he did Danny Garcia? We knew we was gonna get from Danny Garcia. Come on, man. We knew. Okay, Money Man, now you're talking sensibly. Hey, man, that's what it's all about. Look, this is boxing talk right here. You're going to get what you get, man. Everybody's not going to agree, but, you know, I'm talking half of the facts. Well, I want to hear your facts on why you went for DSG and came up short against Errol Spence, and you're not critiquing his performance. Why haven't I heard the DSG pioneers up here critiquing DSG performances? But I'm leaving out the facts. I'm not here to be perfect. But saying I left out half of the facts when I shredded it and peeled back the onion as much as I possibly could on Terence Crawford and Errol Spence. Come on, man. DSG probably did land some shots, but none of them made it to the highlight reel. You're right. He did land some shots and they didn't make it to the highlight reel. That's fact. Maybe like once or twice, but man down that's man up. His man up had all the highlight reels. Yeah, exactly. They put all the highlight reels out there, Errol. Yeah. Danny Garcia was so discouraged because he hit Spence clean a few times and Spence kept applying pressure. Guess what? He hit Keith Thurman clean. He hit Sean Porter clean. But the people that had suspect freaking chin straps went down. You know what I'm saying? Come on. We didn't think Rios was going down. Come on, how much punishment is he taking? Come on, man. We didn't think Adrian Granados was going to fight the wrong fight. I mean, look at his previous fights, man. Bro, you watching highlights. When I say highlights, I know you're talking to him. But Mitch, when I say highlights, I'm talking about the Google pictures that's got there. I look at the fight. I'm talking about the pics, the steals that's out there that's retrievable. You know, it's more out there of Errol Spence than it is Danny Garcia landing shots. Hey, appreciate you, Mike, for stopping through, man. I'm out, y'all. Salute to the chat. Keep talking about that good shit. Appreciate you, man. Appreciate you. The Chicha outbox punished DSG in Puerto Rico. Remember that? Hey, man, DSG, I wasn't a fan of DSG. 36-3 for a reason. And all of them have been against big names, and people still will give Danny Garcia, hey, Danny Garcia, he's still a top 10 welterweight, okay? Give him his props. But yet they won't say who he's beat at welterweight like they would say Terence Crawford. They won't give that same strict, pungent energy. You know what I'm saying? That sauce, that toxicity, that venom. They won't do that when Danny Garcia is mentioned. They won't do that. I didn't hear nothing about these people that was going for Danny Garcia against Errol Spence. But yet, my topic is Errol Spence and Terence Crawford. I did not hear all the pros and cons about Danny Garcia not showing up to the party once again. They talk about all this about how Terence Crawford, what he did at welterweight. What has Danny Garcia did at welterweight? He knows how to lose. Danny Garcia knows how to lose at welterweight. Just ask Sean Porter, Keith Thurman, and Errol Spence. Ask them. They'll tell you Danny Garcia knows how to lose at welterweight. Absolutely. We're not including Paulie Malignaggi. We're not including Ross Salka. And we're not including Lamont Peterson. We're not including them. When it comes to the damn big dance, Danny Garcia knows how to lose. So why am I not getting any comments on Danny Garcia not showing up once again, but yet Terence Crawford always get all this? What has he done? His resume doesn't compare or match up to that of Errol Spence. Errol Spence has done so well, but they leave out that Errol Spence has been at welterweight for a long time. He's fought some of the best competition at welterweight. He should. He should have. Beating Danny Garcia didn't move Errol Spence any higher in the pound for pound list. Get out of here. Get out of here. The teacher out. Keith Thurman didn't keep that pressure up, though. He ran the last couple of rounds. That's what made the fight close. Absolutely, he ran because he got hurt to the body. You're right, Mitch. Did the fight have a money shot? Are we still on DSG, Errol Spence? Because that fight was just so one-sided. That fight was so one-sided. I don't want to talk about it. I don't want to talk about it. I still need to see Bud Thurman. Okay, I'll take that. I'll take that. See, I'll take that. I like to see Bud Crawford and Keith Thurman. Yeah, for sure. I'd like to see that fight. Not with no 10 million. It ain't gonna happen. It's not gonna happen. DSG have the worst resume in my opinion. Dude has not won against a big name in welterweight, but yet you had temporaries up here saying, if Errol Spence defeat Dan Garcia, he moves ahead of Terence Crawford on the pound for pound list. Yes, sir. He does. If Errol Spence comes back off that car accident and defeats Danny Garcia, everything changes. He moves ahead of Terence Crawford in this boxing game. Let's get her done. Man, y'all be tripping, man. DSG has the worst resume is fact. Keith Thurman told on himself. He said once he know he won 7 rounds, he take his foot off the gas. Facts, man. That's facts right there. 11 p.m. Danny didn't do enough. He lost. But you're talking about Kell Brook beating Danny, right? You wilding, homie. People talking about freaking Danny Garcia freaking beat the shit out of Kell Brook. That's a whole different fight stylistically that he was in there with Terence Crawford. Whole different fight. Whole entirely different fight. You know what I'm saying? A whole different style that Kell Brook will be facing in Danny Garcia. You see it when the fights too. You see it when he fights too. WC has been saying this for a while. Bud has a better resume than DSG. DSG barely beat a 500-year-old. No disrespect. God, man, you know what? I can't disrespect the OG, man. Because Zab Judah, every time I speak to him in public, man, outside of him putting his hand on Jay Nady, after the fight was stopped between him and Kasazu, man, I got to show him love because every time I see him, even on the street, I seen Zab Judah on the street, he gave me an interview. So I can't diss that man at all, man. I got mad respect for Zab. IB say Errol turned Danny into a celebrity deathmatch character. For real, man. When you look, IB, check this out. When you go to a post-fight presser and they say, well, Danny Garcia, question for you. Let's give us your assessment on what went wrong in there for you. And then Danny Garcia responds, well, ask my dad that question. You know, he's the one that was outside looking in. You know, he'll be able to tell you better. When somebody tells you some shit like that, man, come on, bro. Man, come on. Bro, Danny Garcia know he took that ass whooping, man. Appreciate that 11 p.m. for real. But yeah, man. IB, man, he gave him the business. How can Danny Garcia come out of there? Danny Garcia, who's been competing at welterweight, people, because I'm telling half. I'm only telling half. How can Danny Garcia come out there looking worse than Mikey Garcia? Mikey Garcia stepped up the first time he came out there looking like, man, I'm going to the freaking hacienda, and you know we're gonna have a good old time. Look, Mikey Garcia could have went to, you know, he went to the showers, got dressed up, headed out to the club. First fight at welterweight, he fought Errol Spence. Danny Garcia steps in there with Errol Spence is coming off a car accident, and he comes out and he's ready to go to the ER. Angel, Dad, can we go to the ER, please? I need to get some ice for this left eye, and also, can they give me an IV and some Neosporin ointment? You know, because goddamn it, I look fucked up. How can you be campaigning in the welterweight division? Mikey Garcia comes up 2 weight classes and comes out of there damn near unscathed. Maybe you should have purchased the optics that Mikey Garcia was talking about. I see something in Errol Spence. I see a lot that I do better. Maybe you should have told him, hey, Mike, can I get those optics you was wearing when you were seeing shit in Errol Spence? Can you get that? Can I get those off you right quick? I'll give them back to you after. Real talk. I got you. I got you. Don't worry about it. Morales was old and soft tagging Danny. Shout out to Eric Morales, man. One of my favorite fighters, man. 10 million for the entire card. Bud versus Thurman. 8 between the headliners and spread the last 2 million for the undercards. Hey, man. The money, man, that shit is far from being the money. That shit is far from talking about money. I don't see Kel knocking DSG out. I don't see it either. But I can see him outboxing DSG easily. I see, you know, Kell Brook putting on a better performance. Man, Josecito, come on now. Ooh, boy. Josecito Lopez, did y'all see the performance he put on? Man, I like to see him versus DSG right now. I like to see him get a rematch with Keith Thurman even. You know, but I'd definitely like to see him go in there and put hands on DSG again. Just to prove to the people that DSG performs for second place. When the last time you seen Kell Brook outbox a credible opponent? Like I said before, people, his losses were to Triple G and Errol Spence. All right. After the Errol Spence fight, he had 3 fights at 154, which is super welterweight. J8, I don't know why you acting like that's far out. He went into the Terence Crawford fight going in there with a damn absolute one of the best boxers in the sport. Top pound for pound now, top 2 pound for pound now. And Terence made him look like what he's supposed to make him look like. Facts. IB say facts and Angel kept it real. Yeah, you know, if Danny should have did more. Training for the fight. He left it all in the gym, but tonight he didn't do what he was supposed to. He should have gave him a little bit more what he did in the 12th round. But Danny, he still got some boxing left in him. We're gonna be back. We're gonna be better than ever. He's gonna be a world champion. We may have to wait till Errol Spence and Terence Crawford lead the division. But yeah. Jay, it's showtime. Hold on for a second. Okay. Josecito looking good at late. His defense is still suspect, though. Santana rocked him early. He did. But goddamn it, Josecito Lopez, when it comes to boxing, you rarely find people with the entire package now. I'm talking about good chin, good fundamentally sound skills, discipline. Boxing, god damn. Hands up, great distance. The way he put his punches together, popping that jab out there, how selective he is in freaking punch placement. Man, Santana had never been stopped. And he dropped him several times. I've looked at that fight several times since then, man. It was a nice, display of the sweet signs. I ain't gonna lie. His dad wanted the fight stopped. King DSG did a lot better than Mikey. I would give you that. And King Mikey was a punching bag. Okay. It's two sides to doing better. You're talking about performance, or we're talking about surviving. Mikey Garcia did do a better job at surviving. He did. And taking less punishment. As for DSG, he did a better job with trying to compete. Attempting to compete. He did. He did a better job at attempting to compete and making a competitive fight. That's why he wasn't shelled up the entire fight, and that's why his eyes looked the way it did. Two sides to, what looked better. Mikey did enough to take less punishment and go the distance, because he felt going the distance with Spence was like a win. You know what I'm saying? Mikey felt going to the distance was more so a better win than actually earning the victory. Because he probably found out early on there's no way he can fuck with Spence. Errol at one point landed 400 punches to Mikey 80. Yeah, because Errol Spence it was a free game. Look, it was easy work for Errol Spence to land on Mikey Garcia. It was so damn easy, so comfortable. I mean, come on. Less intensive. Oh my God. It was like waiting in the doctor's office, listening to that damn music. It was just so carefree. It was sung Freud. It was just one of those ambience, just in there punching the shit out of Mikey Garcia. But Mikey came out of there pretty much unscathed when it comes to bruises in his face. He didn't look bad. He didn't look like Danny. Danny slipped and dipped, but then let his hands go. Angel Garcia's voice, yeah. Danny slipped and dipped. Should he did in 12th round, but he didn't do it. We'll be back though. Danny still has it. Hold up, I get my voice back. Josecito versus Danny coming up. That'd be a good fight. That'd be a good fight. Then we'll be able to see if Josecito Lopez can step up to the plate and not be another Danny Garcia. Because, he came up short against Keith Thurman, but yet he had some moments in there against Keith Thurman. You know what I'm saying? Both of those guys lost to Keith Thurman. That's a common opponent. So it'd be good. I agree, J.A. It'd be good to get Josecito Lopez versus Danny. Yeah, hell yeah. Hell yeah. Real talk. Josecito is perfect fighter for Virgil Ortiz. Won't happen, though. Both trained by Robert Garcia. True. They even talked about that on the telecast. Don't be surprised if Josecito get a crack at Crawford. I watched that fight. If Crawford can't get Keith Thurman, then why not Josecito Lopez? You know what I'm saying? Why not? See, y'all have to understand one thing. When a person is biased, they say we. When they're talking about their fight, well, I don't think we're like that. I don't think we're like that. They attach themselves to the family as if they're breaking bread. As media, I would always keep it on the fighter. Even Deontay Wilder. I support Deontay Wilder heavy. You know what I'm saying? But I haven't broken bread with him. So I support him as one of my favorite fighters, period. But also people say, oh, you black media, you're just a fan. And then when I was supporting Teofimo Lopez and I showed people all the shit from back when I was covering, then they didn't know what to say. It's a difference between being a freaking fanboy, an actual fanboy, and covering the sport. You know what I'm saying? You're always gonna have individuals that disagree with you. But don't forget about those of you that's only supporting certain ethnicities. It's certain people out here that only support certain fighters and where they come from. Let's not forget that. That's whole fact. EJ versus Mikey was a Pac-Man versus Claudia. Jim Lantley saying, bang, bang, bang. Listen, man, that shit ain't gonna lie. That right there, what you just said, goddamn. It took me back. Goddamn, Mr. Claudia. Oh my God, this dude remind me of Winky Wright. This dude give me some Lamont Peterson. For real, dog. Like Claudia, hey, Claudia came in looking the part, right? Claudia looked the part. But when he started to shell up, god damn. Jesus. Claudia, he came in looking the part. But that dude would disappoint you like it's cool. Real talk. Funny though, because Josecito is on PBC. Listen, when it comes to training camp, we know. Come on, Mitch. We know. It ain't no way in hell Robert Garcia is gonna have them two fight each other. And promotion or not, goddamn it. You know how many Mexicans Robert Garcia got in his camp. He ain't gonna have motherfuckers in there fighting each other. You know what I'm saying? It ain't gonna happen, goddamn it. I like Josecito Lopez too. But I think Virgil Ortiz still has a lot to prove in the sport. I'm serious. I think Josecito Lopez not Josecito Lopez, Virgil Ortiz still has a lot to prove in the sport. Seriously. I think he does. I know a lot of people up here trying to put him with the big dogs already. And he's a knockout artist and all this other shit. Man, put him in there with a boxer. Have him step with the competition. I know he holds this secondary trinket in the WBA. If you think he's ready, I'm pretty sure Robert Garcia put him in there. Real talk. I'm pretty sure Robert Garcia will put him in there. I mean, we talking about Robert Garcia, y'all. Real talk. We have to place that in consideration all day, every day. Don't do that 11 p.m. Don't do that. That dude, they finally moved him up. They finally moved him up because there's an open space up there. They said, let's move Quadratili. I don't like doing that when somebody have a name and then making. I don't like that because really we supposed to know how to pronounce their name. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? I don't want to say Quadratilla or anything like that. I don't want to say that, but Quadratilla. It was an open space up there, the IBF, for quite some time. And now they decided to put him up there and make him absolutely number one. You know what I'm saying? I'm alluding to the irony of Josecito getting a shot at Crawford. He ain't the PBC fighters we really want to see Bud in there with. True. But I'm saying, like, okay, I thought you was talking about him and Virgil Ortiz. Okay, I would like to see Josecito Lopez get in there with Crawford. And, you know, but Crawford right now, he can guarantee he's not going to get the Spence fight next. And I'm pretty sure his focus is Manny Pacquiao. Serious. Lipinets and Clayton was a draw, so there's no mandatory for the IBF at the moment. They had open spaces up at the IBF, man, and they had some, you know, some styrofoam cups waiting up there. You know, unfortunately. Hold on for a second. Yeah, we back. But man, I'm about to bounce, y'all. I've been on here for a good minute. It's been quite interesting to say the least. Before I go, I just want to touch on some topics. It may be important, it may not. I want to give a shout out to Shakur Stevenson. He's going in there against Toka Clary. And, you know, I put a video out from the conference call, the Zoom call for Top Rank. So be sure to check out that fight. When they asked Shakur Stevenson, I got to bring it up, man. When they asked Shakur Stevenson, you know, about his fight with Toka Clary, he said it's gonna be a massacre. I like that about Stevenson, man. Stevenson said it's gonna be a massacre. That motherfucker was classic. He said it's gonna be a massacre, dog. And look, Clary has experience. You know what I'm saying? Man, Shakur Stevenson is a future boxer, man. He's gonna do big things. Real talk. He's gonna do big things. Wait till he get out of 30. Wait till he pick up a couple of titles at 130, man, and get up to 35. By then, some of those names that we will be gone by the time Shakur Stevenson gets up there. You know what I'm saying? Tank will still be there. You know what I'm saying? Tank Davis will still be there. Ryan Garcia potentially might be there. You know, Javier Fortuna, stuff like that. But yeah, check out that fight this weekend. Shakur Stevenson, Toka Clary will be in the ring, and I look forward to seeing them fight. And you know what's puzzling to me? You know, Felix Verdejo, though, he's stepping in there with Masayoshi Nakatani, right? And I really can't see how this fight is taking place, because I could have sworn that Nakatani received a injury on his brain from the Teofimo Lopez fight. But yeah, he's coming back in there to face Felix Verdejo. I'm not understanding that, though. Is he okay? Did they? Of course, they took him through medical examinations and brain scans and stuff like that. But is he okay? Because we potentially. You know what I'm saying? It's potentially could happen, y'all. Of course, Anthony Joshua is set to step in there with Kubrat Pulev. You know, he's saying what he's saying. You know, he's making a point that he's a killer too, and he's still looking for that fight with Tyson Fury. He said if he can't get that fight with Tyson Fury, he's looking forward to fighting his mentor Alexander Usyk. Of course, we all know that Tyson Fury is still in litigation or in court, trying to see if he can contractual agreement with Wilder. I really hope that fight happens between Deontay Wilder and Tyson Fury. I really do. Clay Collard is back in the ring. I like Clay Collard, man. I'm trying to set up an interview with Clay Collard. Real talk. This guy's turned his career around. I'm not gonna lie to you. Like, it's crazy what he's been able to do in boxing. Unfortunately, he couldn't keep the streak alive because he caught COVID. You know what I'm saying? But he's back. And you know, he's gonna be going back from boxing to MMA. But what he's been able to do, I'm not sure if he's gonna get fight of the year, but he was able to do some goddamn solid shit in boxing. You know, the way he went in there against Mike Kaminsky, 19-year-old, he bust that dude up. Undefeated. Clay Collard bust this dude up, seriously. But from what I'm hearing, man, once the PFL, the same league that Carissa Shields signed to, Clay Collard is gonna basically enter the tournament potentially on the Professional Fighters League in 2021. You know what I'm saying? So the PFL will kick off their 2021 season. And if he's choosing to go over there, that'd be great. You know what I'm saying? We'll see if that's the case. But right now, it's all about boxing. You know, Clay Collard said he never quit MMA training. And I never stop when it comes closer to a boxing match. I kind of lay off it a little bit, but I never stop training mixed martial arts. And you know, he does admit that he missed the sport. He says some guys will give me angles where it's like, man, I could kick you. You wouldn't be able to walk after the first round. He laughs. I'm excited to get back to it and see what I can do. That's what I'm talking about. I like Clay Collett, man. Tough dude, man. He's been able to turn his career around for real. What else? And that's Cassius Clay Collett, of course, after the one and only Muhammad Ali. All right. Y'all know Canelo Alvarez, you know, fighting Callum Smith, the brother of Liam Smith. If you really want to hear that news. And this is some news that might shock a lot of you, right? WBC president Mauricio Suleiman said that he will 100% support Mayweather versus Paul. So this is what I want to do before I bounce. All right, people, I want to show you something else, right? He said, Grogan, what's good? Say, big up WCS. There's those fights on ESPN Plus. Yeah, he's top rank. ESPN Plus, absolutely, he's top rank. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Looking forward to seeing Shakur career progress. He's the truth, man. So let me you know, Mauricio Suleiman said he absolutely support. Of course he does, because he want to be involved. All right, he want the WBC belt. They have so many titles. We just had the frontline title with Roy Jones and Mike Tyson. So this, you know, it's not long before the WBC comes out with a YouTube social media, you know, 2021 limited edition for the Floyd Mayweather and Logan Paul fight. But this is what I don't like about the clout. When I hear a lot of my people always using these cliche terms because it's the culture, clout chasing, all this shit, it gets abused too much, especially when people are doing shit that's considered hard work and they really want to freaking cover you, right? But in this case with the Paul brothers, I call them the Goof Paul brothers, they are clout chasing. Oh, absolutely. But this is what's puzzling to me. Check this out. Let me do a screen share right quick. Give me a quick minute. I'm about to do a screen share right quick. All right. I'm gonna show you what I'm talking about. This is why what the Goofball brothers are doing is clout chasing. Hands down. Hands down. Let me get to it. Be patient. Oh, hold up. Get to it. Where you at? Damn. Don't tell me they took that shit down. Might have took it down. Real talk. Might have took that shit down, yo. Damn, man. This one I was about to show you. Hold on. Let me be patient. Let me be patient. Okay, here it goes. Here it is. Here it is right here. Okay. This is why this cloud chasing. Look at this shit right here. The hell? Let me expand this shit out so y'all can see it. This is Logan Paul finding out he's gonna fight Floyd Mayweather.
Oh my God.
Look at the champ and the Maverick.
Holy fucking shit. I'll find the best fighter on the planet. This shit's insane, bro.
Look at this.
It's crazy, bro.
Look at this. Look at that. Is that what boxing has come to? This dude is finding out he's facing the best on the planet, and he's sitting there, doesn't look like he's in good shape. You know, it just look like man, it's sad. I ain't gonna lie, it's sad as shit, bro. It's sad. It's super sad. I'm not gonna lie, it's super sad, man. And people say, man, don't be mad. What's wrong with him? Look, first of all, let me explain to some of y'all. Y'all cannot differentiate Jake from Logan. People up here talk about, well, if he knocked out Nate Robinson, why can't he fight Floyd Mayweather? First of all, the fight wasn't a boxing match. They had on gloves, but neither one of these fighters was a boxer. Okay, at least I can say Conor McGregor came from a UFC, a respectable combat sport. What did Jake Paul come from? Absolutely the couch. You cannot count his first boxing match. Come on. So therefore, I'm telling people, Jake Paul is not the one that's stepping in with Floyd Mayweather. Let's get that straight. And why are you all hyping up his knockout over Nate Robinson as if it's some grand scale accomplishment? Now we go to Logan Paul, who, in my opinion, has less of a skill set than his brother Jake. But he gets to step in there with Floyd Mayweather, and he receives the news. Oh, look at this. They made a promo video. They called me the Maverick. Come on, man. Come on, man. That's bullshit, dog. Yeah, Mitch, you're right. Jackpot, bro. You're right, man. Style makes fight. Truthfully, Keith give Bud a tougher fight than Spence. Boxing wise, I can agree with that. Yeah, boxing wise, I can agree with that. Stylistically, yeah. But I don't know what Keith Thurman we getting there, Wilson. I don't know what Keith Thurman we getting. Are we getting anyone close to the one time? Or we talking about no time? Because at the Pacquiao, we got no time. Josecito Lopez, we got some time. So we're going to get one time, sometime, and no time. No time, sometime, one time. Which one we getting? Wilson said DSG was the man at 140. How, Sway? How is he the man? Check this out. This is how I'm going to break this shit down because I only get half. And look, I ain't looking shit up. I'm giving you the shit right off the rip. How is DSG the man at 140? How? He fought Eric Morales twice. Eric Morales missed the weight on the scales. He fought for the vacant title, right? He won. Okay? Who did he fight next? Amir Khan. Has Amir Khan been knocked out already by Prescott? Yes, he has. So he went in there and defeat Amir Khan. We all know what happened. So what was so special about what he did with 140 except picking up a couple of titles and being unified champion? How? Come on, man. But I only speak half. Like I don't read up on this shit. Boxing, MMA. I'm not looking. I'm telling you. How is he the man at 40? He already stopped Amir Khan, who had been stopped previously. When he fought Amir Khan, I believe Amir had two losses already. Come on, man. I mean, what was so special about that shit? He unified the titles, and then he defended, several times, and then he decided to move up. He didn't just move up like Adrian Broner moved up. He didn't move up like Roberto Duran moved up. He didn't move up like Mikey Garcia moved up. Dan Garcia tiptoed. That's real talk. He took a catchweight fight at 141. And then he took another catchweight fight against Lamont Peterson at 143. And then he decided to step in there with the featherman himself, Paulie Malignaggi, who had already been defeated by Adrian Broner back in the day. I mean, come on, bro. And then he went and fought for the vacant title against Robert Guerrero. Come on, man. I don't understand why Floyd is so desperate to stay relevant. He should focus on his fighters and kids. I disagree. Now, it's how he's staying relevant, Grogan. You know what I'm saying? It's how he's, look, he can stay relevant, okay? As long as it doesn't continue to tarnish what he has built up in his career. What he's doing now is, in this particular fight, I'm glad it won't count on his box rec. I'm glad it won't count on his box rec. If he was putting Logan Paul on his box rec, I would have a problem with it. From my understanding, Logan is not going on his box rec now. So therefore, him fighting exhibition bouts, okay. I do feel that what Floyd has been able to accomplish, he deserves to do what the hell he want to do. But don't try to become 60-0 off exhibition bouts that includes additioning or adding to your freaking box rec. Don't do that. Now, Conor McGregor, okay. No Tenshin Nashikawa, no Logan Paul, no YouTube, no World Star, none of that shit. No freaking who else is out there? No Julio Cesar Chavez Sr. Who else is out there? No Zab Judah. No Mickey Ward. Don't start fighting these fighters and say, you know what, my record 55 and no, who did it like me? Don't add nobody else up there that's not a reputable body when it comes to boxing. Because from what I believe, Logan Paul is not going to be on the box rec. So, hey, go out there and do as many exhibition bouts you want. If you choose to put these people in the ring with you that don't deserve it, then that's what Floyd's going to have to deal with on his legacy. Because people are going to say, come on, Floyd. Now that you're much older, you're 60 years old, you look back on there and say, you know what? I shouldn't have fought those fighters that really wasn't considered competitive and put them on my box rec. Well, hey, you know what? Smart investments. I was able to do what I want. Did you know those fights that I took, I got paid millions for them? So that's an investment, right? So hold up. Because you're a man of many or a master of none. So what I did, if it made me millions of dollars, don't you figure out that decisions I made was good for me and my family? No, hold on. Answer the question. Is it? Yeah, we can say, okay, all right, cut. That's all we need. I don't want to hear nothing else. Smart investments. Oh shit, bad decisions to pressure Bud coming out the gate. Maybe doing a fight if you figure Bud out. And man, Bud a dog. People gonna find that out. Bud is a bear, a Kodiak bear, for real. Bud is a different type of dude, man. Very athletic. I'm just saying. Crawford versus Thurman is a good fight. I don't think Thurman presents more problems than Spence, though. I like to see that fight. I just like to see Crawford fight somebody. I like to see him fight Spence. They both top 2 pound for pound. Okay. Grogan. Elvis Rodriguez is 140, isn't he? Elvis Rodriguez is not welterweight. He's 140, isn't he? So how's Elvis Rodriguez going to fight Danny Garcia at 147? Honestly, Ali for similar things on the tail end. Yeah, he fought Aoki, but Aoki was allowed to kick him. So I can't put Muhammad Ali into a situation as I'm seeing now that's strictly boxing, because it's much more detrimental to Ali. They wanted Ali to throw that fight. Ali refused to, but they also allowed kicks in that fight. Which fighter is allowing kicks in a boxing match? That's another level of respect I have for Ali. They wanted Ali to throw the fight for money, and Ali refused. That's why people respect him so much for what his activism, what he stood for in life. They wanted him to throw that fight. Spence versus Crawford in a close fight. Crawford might stop Thurman, though. Man, it's possible the way he's up here looking against Manny Pacquiao, who's 40 some 41 years old, and then getting off the canvas. Yeah, man. You know, AB versus Mayweather. I can't co-sign on that. I can't do it, Grogan. I can't co-sign on that. I have to see AB step in the ring. You know, he has so much on his plate, man, with court and everything else. I have to see him step in the ring. But of course, the grudge match, the selling of the fight, you know, get out of here with that soft ass shit. Yeah, AB can sell the fight, man. Mayweather can sell it. But I think they I don't know, man. You know, if Mayweather want to put another name on his contractual obligation and make a fight with his exhibition, yeah, AB, absolutely. AB has never been stopped. And he still got respect out here in the boxing community. I just wouldn't pick Thurman versus Crawford. Thought Danny would have moved back to 140 since people say he done in 147. How's Danny gonna move anyway? He just got off a fight, Grogan. Hey, come on, man. The only thing he did was move from the arena to the house to the motherfucking ER. Shit, how's Danny gonna move back to 140? Just off his first loss. His first loss to Errol Spence, right? His first loss to Errol Spence. Errol Spence is going to be the one to push him down to 140. Danny's used to losing. Come on, he's used to losing, y'all. He's used to. When he got the welterweight division, they gave him a jacket with an L on the back of it. He used to, man. He hasn't defeated a champion yet at 147. Keith Thurman, loss. Sean Porter, loss. Errol Spence, loss. He knows how to lose. So you think losing to Errol Spence is going to push him back down to 140 where he got to cut weight? No, he cannot make that division anymore. He ain't trying to lose no 140. Hell no. He ain't trying to lose that damn extra 5 pounds, 7 pounds to go back down to 140. You have to look at it. It's only 2 divisions. That's a 5-pound difference. All right. That's 30 to 35 and 35 to 40. When you get up for 40, it goes 40 to 47 to 54. Then you really start to think. Now you're going to talk about, okay, let's go down 47 to 40. Come on, man. That shit ain't easy. Danny would need to move carefully at super welterweight as well. Man, Danny, why would he be thinking about going up to super welterweight? Until Jermell Charlo vacates the belts. Then that opens up a whole field. You know what I'm saying? Put him in there with freaking Erickson Lubin. Man, it's so many people. Put him in there with Tim Tszyu. It's so many fighters at the 154-pound division. Oh, my goodness. That's going to be the hottest division coming up. Seriously. 2021, I think 54 is going to be the hottest division. Real talk. Because dependent on, once again, this is BFTV's son. I think he called Calabozo after Teofimo Lopez comes back from fighting Calabosis, you know, aka Calabobo or something like Calabozo. We don't know if he's gonna fight Devin Haney or what at the 135-pound division. We don't know what the fuck he's gonna do. You know what I'm saying? Danny Garcia will move to 154. If anything, Danny will need to move carefully at super welterweight as well. Bigger fighter with skills up there. Absolutely, I agree. I think Erislandy Lara beats Danny Garcia, and he has a belt right now. Erislandy Lara has a freaking secondary belt right now. Believe it or not, he has an interim title, a secondary belt right now. Lara beats Danny Garcia. I don't know why he had you saying anything there, Grogan. Why would you listen to somebody like that that's still talking about 39-0? You can't take that shit for real. You can't take that shit outside social media. false as hell. That shit was false as hell. See, now that you even came there, I have to go back and put it up there. I have to do it. I have to do it. Because anybody that's talking about 39 and 0 and all this other bullshit is absolutely acutely delusional. Acutely delusional. I had to do it because people still out here thinking Danny Garcia is undefeated. Stop it. Stop it. Stop it. Stop it. It's factual. You know, 39 and oh man, he gets no play today, dog. Hell no. Danny Face told how the fight went against Errol. Real talk, man. He really think Danny has drawn his record. Man, I can't do it. I can't give him that shine. I can't. He don't deserve it. He don't deserve it, man. I can't do it. I can't do it, man. I can't give him that shine. Hell no. He was too scared to show up for a debate, a live debate. He'd rather get on the keyboard and with his freaking fingers and type and comment on my shit and drop his link to videos and shit like that. You know? Nah. But man, it's been a pleasure, y'all. I stay on here forever. I don't want to start talking about mixed martial arts, but man, y'all continue to support World Combat Sports, share the content, sub, and hit the like button if you're in the building. Appreciate everyone who pulled up today. Salute to you. Turn up and tune in to World Combat Sports.